Welcome to A1 Podcast. It's your host, Oscar Lee. I'm joined today by coaches Nate, Maya, Nate, Maya Tia, and Shawn Holmes. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
Doing good. Doing good. Thank you for having us.
100%. Shawn, man, you've been following me forever and we never talk. I'm just like, I was like, I had to have you on one time so we can actually have a face-to-face conversation.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. So, Maya,
I'm happy to be here for sure. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, it's great having you, man. It's great having you. Obviously, it's good to have, fellow JUCO products. It's good to have, kind of guys who are still involved in the coaching game, especially at our age. So, I mean, I love it. You know what I mean? We're just keeping the game going. So, giving back. And Maya, I think I haven't met you yet. I've seen some of your photos. Were you a receiver?
Man, I was utility, man. Tight end, DN, receiver, safety.
So when you mossed it, what was that? What were you playing in that moss play? The photo.
I was the Y. I was flexed out at Y.
Ooh, okay, you went outside. Okay.
I was against Willow Glen High School, man. We was on TV that game.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't really have much to kind of talk about because I've been sleeping on my podcast last 2 months, as you all can tell. I ain't been doing shit on this podcast, so y'all have the floor.
And what's up with that MJ LeBron stuff that you posted? Do you think, do you already have an opinion, just so we can end that right now?
I mean, my opinion is that you can't compare because you have this era, which is all 3-point shooting, finesse, right? You have MJ's era, which is kind of more brutal, right? You had the bad boy Pistons, the hand checks were still allowed, right? It's a different game now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, can we compare? Could MJ play in this era? Maybe, because, I mean, he was the best greatest jump shooter of all time, right? Like in the 1998 season, I think he 440 shots were mid-range, from the mid-range, right? And then pretty much kind of, LeBron, being a 3-point shooter, he developed that in his game. But one guy we keep forgetting is this man right here. So I'm just like, is it him? I mean, I don't know. So I don't have an opinion.
There you go. Shit, fuck it. What's up with that Morocco stuff? I see you going out out of the country, man. What's going on with that?
Yeah, no, I'm about to be out there. I got invited by a team out there, the Tiflis Raptors. Pretty much, so they invited me to kind of come out there, kind of work with the players, and now basically some other teams are now hopping on board. You probably saw my story when I posted today. So basically, I'm going to be going out there, kind of working with those players, working with different teams, and kind of teaching them kind of fundamentals 101. You know what I mean? So that's just I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Nice. Are you gonna be coaching receivers, special teams?
Hell yeah. See, you already know. You already know, bro. Why are you asking me if you already know, Nate? What the fuck?
Yeah, my bad. I just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the guy that I think you are. But no, we just coached a camp out in the Valley up in Sacramento. My brother Shawn, he coaches offensive line. And my brother right here, Maya, he coaches a defensive line with me. But like he was saying before, he played a little bit of tight end, receiver, and defensive end. So we kind of been on that the camp circuit and doing the club football, and that's how we met Sebastian.
Yeah, and Sebastian talked to me about kind of how you guys got interlinked. Pretty much, kind of this season was pretty much his coming out season, right? Because basically his previous 3.5 years, and everyone who's listening to the podcast, you probably were listening to the previous podcast if you haven't checked it out, episode 77, Sebastian McQuigg. Basically, he sat for 2 years. He sat middle of his junior. It wasn't until the middle of his junior year that he got to actually get out there and get some opportunities. And Shawn, you're obviously nodding your head, so you can attest to that too. Pretty much, it wasn't until this season working with you guys, you all working all the coaches on the call, Nate, Maya, Shawn, that Sebastian was able to kind of get himself to that D1 athlete level. And Nate, he actually gave a specific shout out to you for working with him, getting his film ready and getting his first offer with New Mexico State. And I really enjoyed talking to him about that because for me, he understands kind of what I was telling you, Nate, about yesterday about the dudes from my high school, right? He was already experienced this, like from dudes who are coaching down there and who are much older than some 17-year-old D1 prospect. And I'm just like sitting here, I'm like, yo, dude, like this is what I'm experiencing now as a grown-ass man. Why is this kid dealing with this shit, as a 17-year-old about to go to UNLV? So I mean, it was great in that regard,
Yeah, man. Honestly, shit. Whew. On that aspect, one thing's for sure is that guys are slept on big time. A lot of these big names are kind of like the same dudes getting recruited by everybody. And it was great to kind of see him come up out there and in LA. So where we coached him at, we played in this league called Winter Circle. And, it was basically club football. I'm pretty sure he touched on it a little bit. I haven't gotten to listen to the full podcast yet, but, basically you kind of know that there hasn't been any high school football in California this whole year.
Yep.
And, there's been that whole let them play movement and that whole thing. And right now, they kind of finally got their chance to play. And, my brother, Coach Holmes, he's out there actually coaching right now at Western Ranch High School. And, they're finally going to get to probably play some games. And shoot, maybe you can tell us, like, what that's been like and, what's going on now with that.
Yeah, for sure. I would say for sure Sebastian was a testament to, like, basically what me and both Coach Tias were about, like basically finding guys that just needed a little bit extra help, a little bit of tips here and there. These tips will help them get that scholarship or that look that they were looking for, because of, me and Coach Tia, growing up, we didn't have the looks, that we also wanted to, when we played. And, but for us, we just didn't know the ropes at the time, and so now that we know the ropes, we're on a mission right now, like literally our mission is to get every kid that we get in contact with scholarship, if that's what they plan on doing, playing football. But like, not only that, like we're also giving kids away, like Coach Shield will say, like teaching them how to think,
Yeah.
Because football is just more about than, just out there running around and playing sports and all that. So, we're giving these young men, just positive, ways to think about things, all the problems that they're going through and all that stuff. And, like Coach Two was saying, like I have a chance right now. We're about to play our first game on March 19th, high school. And, like 2 weeks ago, we started practicing and there was literally three guys out there at conditioning. The morale was just low. Everybody's just, hanging their head. Like there's not going to be no high school football season, and then just out of nowhere, boom, now we got a scheduled date. We were practicing in helmets today, we're going 6 days this week, 3 to 4 hour practices. It's just like literally 0 to 100, for the kids, but like for me, me and Coach Tia, we've been on the circuit, the past, since pretty much October of last month, just like literally every weekend doing a pop-up, doing a camp, just like really on a mission to like help build our communities up and stuff. And, like I would say, like pretty much everything's, starting to come to light right now, and I would say Sebastian is a strong testament of, what like, the OBM gang is all about. It's just like, when you're putting love into the game and you're doing it from a place of, love and just like literally looking out for the next man, because like, they're kids right now, but like, he's going to be 18, then he's a grown man, and then he's in the game with us, so it's just like, like kind of ushering the youth, into the game, but like, giving them some tips to put in their tool bag, so they're just not coming in there, free-handed or whatever, they actually know. And, I would say one of my things, missions is to like bridge the baseball and ball, because I would say, when Coach Tia gets, guys at the JUCO level, he still has to coach them up, as if it was like first week in high school practice, and so, I'm trying to eliminate that time, by giving the kids, like girls practice tempo. I'm using those kind of techniques to like, kind of bridge that gap. So, like there's not a disconnection from the high school level to college. When a kid leaves high school and if he goes plays for Coach Tia or goes to play anywhere else, like they're already up on game. They don't have to, spend a year red shirting or whatever, they're ready to go right off the bat, and I would say that's, that's one of our main missions.
100%. 100%. Obviously, I mean, Sebastian is a perfect testament to that. Obviously, as all the other kids, and I've seen you guys, since Nate's been on the podcast, and he's kind of brought my network, right, of all the coaches involved with your guys' traveling teams and kind of the camps you guys do and all the work you do throughout the state. I mean, I've been able to see firsthand kind of, the testament as to, all the prospects you're trying to groom. And whatever level they compete at, whether it's, JUCO, whether it's D2, D3, D1, right? Wherever they go, NAIA, doesn't matter, they'll be ready, and obviously, I mean, Sebastian's just one of many. Yeah. So good.
Oh, no, pretty much what I got to say about that. Just it's been a fun ride, you know, just getting to work with the kids. You know, like, you know, a lot of the coaches that I coach with at my school, like they've literally been dead in the water since November. You know, and you know, me and both Coach Tiz, you know, like we, you know, every day is, you know, football practice for us, you know, and so, you know, it's just been an amazing time that, you know, we've been able to, you know, give our time to the kids because the kids are so hungry right now, you know, with all the homeschooling going around all over the place. Like, you know, like kids are, you know, literally hitting us up like, hey, coach, you know, like, what's up, or anything going on today, you know? And so, you know, it's just, you know, like that's where the love is coming in, you know, like we really love this game and we love, you know, we love helping people. We love helping, you know, people in football, especially, you know, so it's just like, you know, everything is just like aligning right now. And, you know, we're having a great time. You know, that first season in Winter Circle was crazy to say the least. It was like football Disneyland out there.
I'm not sure if I talked to you before the season or like during the season, but man, I don't think I put enough hype on that when the last time we talked because
no, you
man,
didn't.
yeah, because like, you know, when we got out there, you know, I met Sebastian and kind of like he talked about, you know, he was under the radar. And then, you know, like the other day, you know, they just made him a 3-star. So like he went from being under the radar, you know, hadn't really played to becoming a 3-star, you know. And the crazy part about it is, you know, Sebastian played for our team, which is a Bay Area based team, you know, and, you know, we had a lot of guys from here. He's from San Diego.
Yeah.
Now he couldn't really practice with us at all unless we had like a pregame practice or the night before. So a lot of the work that I did with Sebastian was all via Zoom. And, you know, it was a lot of like coaching up techniques online, running the tape back, you know, Zooming 4 days a week. And I'm kind of like Coach Holmes said, you know, for me, it was a little bit of a breath of fresh air because like, you know, we're really over here trying to bridge that gap. And me being able to work with some high school seniors, you know, I was kind of able to like game them up on what it's going to be like at the 4-year or at the JC level, you know, because, you know, I coach college and, you know, I'm like, hey, man, Zoom every night. And they're like, every night? I'm like, yeah. But, you know, a lot of the guys enjoyed it, though, because, you know, after some of those sessions, they're like, man, my high school coach never broke it down like this, or he never like talked about me as an individual or things like that. It was more so like as a unit, like, hey, team, we need to be more disciplined. We need to be that, rather than like, hey, Asif, you need to be taking them 6-inch steps, or you need to be attacking, you know, half man, or yeah, why aren't you getting off the ball, or, you know, things like that. So, you know, like just like Coach said, you know, we're trying to bring that to these camps and you know, to these youngsters. You know, and a lot of it is kind of just, for me, it came from, you know, like the lockdown, you know, like kind of like Coach said, not just were players hungry, but coaches were hungry as well. And, you know, you follow me on social media, and, you know, specifically on Instagram is where I like to have a lot of my fun. But, you know, like that's where that Sunday message came from, you know, like I don't get to train you every day. And then after practice, we take a knee and I'm like, all right, guys, you know, this is the deal today. You know, this is what came to me watching you guys. So, you know, that's my once a week, you know, I guess recap or, you know, game or information, I guess. And, you know, that's something that, you know, I guess we're all missing, but, you know, luckily Coach Holmes, he gets to coach every day again. So shoot, he's back in the lab and, you know, that all that great stuff. You know, community college, or at least at De Anza, you know, we haven't been back to the school for almost a year now. I think the last time I've been to De Anza and like went to work was like on March 14th last year, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, so ever since then, you know, we got my brother back out there on the field with us, and, you know, got him coaching defensive line, and we just been having a good old time.
100%. And obviously with that, I mean, with the restrictions in the state, you know, I think it's interesting that how, you know, they're lifting it for high schools, but not for JUCOs. And I think kind of, you know, we all played JUCO, you know, at one point. If I'm not mistaken, I think everyone on the call played JUCO, right? I mean, I know Nate, you and I played against Shawn, and yeah, you both went to De Anza. And so obviously, you know, with that, you know, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, Coach Tia, what you're doing at De Anza, you know, basically was the kind of the impact you've had on these guys. That Sebastian also kind of echoed that too. You know what I mean? So the impact you're having on these guys, you know, kind of with the winning circle, you know, with what you guys are doing right outside of coaching at your schools, you know, Coach Holmes outside of you coaching at high school, and Coach T outside you coach at De Anza, the impact is being shown because these guys are now being groomed and they're now getting the looks, like you said, Coach Tia, about, like Sebastian just becoming a 3-star prospect. He said that. He literally said that, like, literally just like a month or 2 months ago. That's when he started getting offers, And it's just one of those things where it's like, sometimes you just need the right push in the right direction. Like you said, working with guys on Zoom is sometimes better because, just because you raise your voice. When I coached varsity 2 years ago at Whitney out in Rockland, our team was 0-10 prior to that season. Okay. So basically, the approach was not gonna be the same. You're not gonna be able to come in like a drill sergeant and be like, guys, get your fucking shit together. I mean, like, and start yelling at guys, expect their psyche to be developed that way. No, there's a psychology to coaching, right? So the psychology needs to be kind of tailored to each individual player, So I think, Coach Tia, you basically you summarize that perfectly because what you said about Sunday about the analysis paralysis. Yeah, you don't want to get caught up overthinking, but you do want to take your time individually with each player and kind of understand where their strengths are, where the weaknesses are, and hone their craft, right? Because the only way you're going to become better as an athlete is if you have a recipe or some type of plan tailored to your needs. For me, when I played at San Jose City College, my coach from SJCC, Coach Dub, my Manu's coach back then, right? No, wait, he's now going to be coaching the NFL with the Ravens. There's a reason for that, right? He works with guys outside of practice. He works with guys and gives them the work. He worked with a sorry ass receiver like me and got me up to becoming an AFL player. You know what I mean? He got me up to being in this level. So I mean, ultimately, I think that's kind of what a true hallmark of good coaching is, right? You guys take your players aside and you work with them individually. Coach Holmes, Coach Tia, credit to you guys, and Coach Tia, Coach Lil Tia. I mean, credit to you too for kind of being involved with that too. So
you go by T2.
You go by T2?
Yeah,
T2, I like that.
Yeah, and he could probably talk a little bit about that too. Like my brother, he's coached in the past before with with younger students, but he's now coaching with all levels from like we talked about before, middle school to JC, and he's kind of out there like figuring it all out on the spot. So like shoot, like you got anything to say on that? Like just coaching up kids and being the new guy, but not being like flaming everybody's shit up right off the spot or like stuff like that.
Like sometimes, like what a lot of players need to hear is like, I'm not opposed to like flaming somebody up, but it's also like I let them know, like, hey, dog, when you're doing great, I'm gonna praise you, and when you're messing up, I'm gonna let you know too. Because I just feel like, what kind of coach would I be if I'm not keeping it real? And like, I mean, like, yeah, I am learning on the spot, so it's like it's cool taking that role as a student, and like I actually love that just because like my brother actually added some tools to my toolbox now. So when I'm watching him coach it up, I was just like, like I just pick his brain off of that. And like, even outside of practice, like I'm picking his brain, asking him questions like, all right, now if we try to set up this move, like how are we going to go about this and that? Just because, I'm trying to be one step ahead too, because you never know. I might have to take this guy one-on-one at practice and an example. So get my judo chop right and all that. But I mean, honestly, I love it, man. Like, a lot of these kids do respond well, and it's just good being around the game, man. Like, because football's the ultimate game of life, in my opinion. Yep. It teaches you everyday lesson. Like, you always got to come to work, and like what I learned just through the game is just like, man, you got to approach life with an athlete's mentality. The one day you take that day off, like my coach used to tell me the story of Wally Pipp and Lou Garrett. Like, the day Wally Pipp took the day off, Lou Garrett, came that day, and we all know who Lou Garrett is, right? Like I mean, I couldn't tell you how many people know who Wally Pipp is unless they're telling the story of Lou Garrett. So it's like, man, I love this game and like what it's done for my life and like the life lessons it gives you, and like just installing that in the kids too, and like it's just a beautiful thing to me, and like I just like it because you can't put it into words, because like Coach Holmes was saying, like we do this out of love, man. We love this. Like we can talk football all day.
100%, man. You gotta love it.
I think one thing
we gotta talk some wrestling too.
Oh yeah, man.
We gotta talk what?
We gotta talk some wrestling.
Okay, so wait. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, are you taking any matches for that belt? Can I roll through? And
I got you, bro. I got you. Slide through. Next time.
Got to run down the WWE 2K. I know
actually,
you're PS.
I'm gonna bring the spray paint. Hit it with the NWO.
You know what I mean?
Old school.
We're gonna go NWO on him with the spray paint. I want the Bret Hart belt.
Get the Bret Hart belt. Yeah, this one's the most prized one. Yeah, this one's actually this is actually a UFC belt. I'm not sure if you guys watch UFC in the '90s, but Ken Shamrock, this is the belt he won, the U
Yep.
Super Fight Championship belt. Yeah. So
Logo.
yeah.
Hey,
So
how
he
the
was,
hell was that though? Chopping it up with Ken Shamrock though. What the hell?
bro. I'm telling you, man, that man is just a world knowledge. Guess what? His first sport was football. He was a
Really?
JUCO football player at Shasta. Yeah.
Oh,
He
I didn't know
basically,
that.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I mean, if you guys listen to the podcast, I mean, if you want to, you don't have to. Basically, I mean, like basically, with Ken Ken Shamrock, I mean, he was a JUCO football player at Shasta, and he was a 3-year. He played 3 years, and he was a captain all 3 years. And he had a tryout with the Chargers in '89, and he decided to forego that to pursue a career in professional wrestling. But he was a great a high school wrestler, an amateur wrestler, right? So that's how he was able to carry that over. He also did, I think he did wrestling at Shasta too. I can't remember, but basically it was a great experience because obviously I was talking about my experience as an athlete, and it was just, I mean, just hearing him, he just has so much knowledge. You know what I mean? I mean, he was able to relate kind of wrestling, kind of fighting, and football all in together. Like, it's combat sports, or I guess physical contact sports, and combat sports being wrestling and football, but wrestling and MMA. Sorry, but yeah. It was great.
Yeah, I got to listen to a little bit of it, and I just remember him talking about like when he got into the wrestling game, how the guys kind of just all welcomed him in and just like let him perform with them, like kind of like freelancing, and that like shoot, that to me like that's always like kind of been one of my dreams to see, if I wasn't on the show, at least just be for a couple nights and just let me freelance it, because I think I watched enough to show some moves and you know what I mean, take a couple bumps and shit. I'll see the comeback one time.
Man, you might as well, right?
He'll be the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah,
Brooklyn Bro. Yeah.
yeah. I'll put Joe Leona over. He can kick my ass.
Shout out to Leona, baby.
Yeah,
Knox Pro.
yeah.
We know what time it is.
Hell yeah,
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, you remember the comment we had in the DM about Roman, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the lights again, because
Yeah,
Maya, Nate,
Being on the mic
Nate,
though, man.
that's why, because Nate mentioned you. He's like, oh yeah, he's like Roman's light skin like my brother, like, and then and then that's how that went.
Hey, no, he's terrible in the ring and on the mic though, man. It's like,
Yeah.
geez.
You know what? He is, you know what I mean? But I like the heel. I like the heel.
Oh yeah, no,
It is his best version of him, I
for
think.
sure.
He looks like a heel. You know what I mean? Like, he just, like, you look at him, he's like, that's a heel. Like, stop trying to be a good dude. Like, that's not who you are, bro. You look
Yeah.
like a fucking heel. Be the
Yeah.
heel. Yeah.
No, Paul Heyman definitely saved his character. I think that was a great pairing right there.
Oh yeah, Paul Heyman. Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. But I mean, it's cool because they still let Roman talk. But I think I would almost prefer if Roman didn't talk at all and just
Yeah.
stood there. You know what I mean? And then Paul Heyman just does all the talking. You know what I mean?
Literally. But I
Yeah.
will say though, the Usos are dope on the mic and in the ring.
Ooh, we talking about actual wrestlers. All right, go ahead.
Like, yeah, the talent gap between those three, it's like, damn, man, apple don't fall far from the tree, but that apple was on like a hill or something like that. Like, jeez.
He said that was on the hill, bruh. No, for real though. I mean, because Jay and Jimmy are phenomenal performers, like both in the
Yeah.
ring and on the mic. Like
Yeah,
Jay,
exactly.
Jay's more charismatic than Roman. Like, if you look at it, like,
Yeah.
they had little segments they've had, when Jay's been kind of pairing with him, Jay's way more charismatic. Like, he's funny, he can act better, and like, I don't know why. It's just it's natural to him. You know what I mean?
He
So
spent more time in San Francisco because Roman left for Florida early.
yeah, yeah, man. Low Roman, man. Y'all, us Bay Area boys, man, we got this shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, man.
But the Usos started off a little shaky with me when they were doing like the haka and stuff, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
don't do it, dog.
Not a ring, bro. Like, not on your way to the ring either. Like, just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's football. Like, my boy Manu, like, when we had pregame at San Jose City College back in 08, Manu would kill the haka. Like, come out there, ooh. It's like, you know what I mean?
Have a bunch of polys back in the day at San Jose City.
Ooh, boy,
Like,
you don't even know. Yeah, I mean, I know y'all know Havelock. Havelock.
Yeah, we're teammates. Yeah.
Yeah. Havelock was one of those bruisers. I mean, I actually didn't get to play with him because I left before he got the season started. But I mean, I just remember I was like, this man has like tree trunks for legs, and it's just like, and he's still playing semi-pro, and he's still dominating. Like, it's just because even you're 250, 260 pounds with tree trunk legs like him, and he can just run straight through every gap. Nothing you can do to stop that man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like the bus for sure. I've seen him leap people too when we were in Kansas.
Oh man. Oh, that's right. I know. Y'all both went to McPherson.
Yeah, we played with Kenny Pope. Yeah.
Kenny Pope. Yeah. Kenny Pope. Yeah.
And Coach Holmes actually, he was on the team with me both years at Anza. So when we played each other, you played against him too.
I did, yes, sir. Hey, Coach Holmes, I played against you in college.
Yeah, were you on defense?
No, I was on offense, man. Oh, so wait, I didn't get to play against you. Oh, I didn't get to play against you.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, but your team collectively whooped my team's ass. So I'm like, you're good.
I was in the stands for that one. I was still in high school. You guys got smashed that game at Anza.
Yeah.
That was towards.
Hey, but you guys had a tight end.
That was like one of your guys'
dope.
last seasons
Marquez.
over there, right?
I thought he went to Kansas City.
Oh no, he's talking about. I think his name was Jimmy Morris. I don't know if he played with him too.
What's his name?
I think his name was Jimmy Morris. He played at San Jose City. He played like tight end, but when we went to our 4-year, he played defensive line or outside backer. But when we played against City in college, he was like going up and mossing dudes, but he looked like a big ass D lineman. But they were just throwing it up, and he was snagging shit.
Yeah. You know, kind of like Marquez. Marquez used to do the same thing. Like Marquez, was also no good. Like he was a baller at tight end. Like, and he's like 240, but he had leaping ability. So like he could go up and get it. But it's like, yo, what the fuck is this 250-pound dude just jumping over dudes like getting this shit? I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that.
Marquez he's a great basketball player too. I don't know if a lot of people know that, and he kind of talked about it a little bit as well in his podcast episode. Like, you know, he was an Olympic qualifying swimmer, so
he was.
Marquez is kind of like not only is he a crazy athlete, but he got the Mamba mentality for sure. I'm sure you know. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wideouts, baby. Wideouts, you know. Wideouts, you know. All right, no, but yeah, for real though. I mean, all those good times, you know, playing JUCO, man. I mean, I miss those days kind of because like since I started the podcast, it's reconnecting me with all my boys from San Jose City and West Valley, and obviously connected us guys who played in those leagues, you know, on different teams. And I love the podcast because now it's like it makes me relive those times. You know what I mean? And I miss those times. But you know, hey man, you get old, so fuck it. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just thinking, do you ever like go fuck around like flag football or anything?
I used to. And I mean, yeah, but I mean, right now, actually, no, yeah, I do. But there ain't no one playing right now. I don't know where to play flag football.
Hey, believe it or not, when we're doing our last club team, we're doing all of our practices at Patelco or at Fallon Sports Park. There was dudes out there deep, like 7-on-7, like they weren't affiliated with anybody. They were just out there like playing, like running games, like basketball.
Yeah, like pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing up in Newark. I was telling some of the guys at last week's pop up, like, you know, like coaching, you know, college guys, I never really, you know, get involved in the drills, but like, you know, the younger high school guys, you know, they're you know, they're really eager and they're always like, hey coach, let's, you know, cover me in ones, or like, you know, let's see me in pass rush or something like that. So, you know, I've been having to stay ahead of the curve and, you know, get right. So I could take a couple reps. I might even have my brother take some at tackle for me when we did a training in Hayward a few weeks back. You know, you have to show them what it's like blocking a DN when you're a tight end.
Who, Shawn did?
Oh, no, Maya.
Maya did? Okay,
actually. Yeah. One of my friends, not my friends, but one of my former players, he's actually at Alabama State, D1 FCS school. He was telling me, like, man, Coach Holmes is the best lineman I ever went against in once, even better than my guys at school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we mix it up a little bit with these youngsters, you know, just to not only we don't like to be those guys who just, you know, armchair coaches, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we'll get on the weights. If we don't play football with you, you know what I mean? We might hit the weights, see who benches 225 more, or you know what I mean? You know, who's better at 21 on the basketball court or something.
Yes, sir. Coach?
Yeah, you always got to keep the tool sharp, man, especially with these young ones. Like, you know, they're so smart these days. Like, they think they can take everybody out, all that stuff, you know. So you always got to, you know, keep the tool sharp.
You got to.
Sure, I agree, man. Especially today, man. These kids are trying to put you on IG or something, and you can't be that guy. That's for sure. It's like you can tell them half speed, they're still gonna try to take you out. So, like anybody but me is my mindset. Like, it's like I ain't going on nobody's camera.
100%.
Yeah, I would say one thing about like running all these camps and these pop-ups and stuff. Like, it's a good opportunity to like put up a viral video. You know, just like, you know, depending on how it is or whatever, Like, you know, you could either be on the wrong side of the viral video or you can be on the good side.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know if you follow Coach Holmes. Do you do TikTok at all?
I don't do TikTok, but I mean, I can follow y'all on TikTok if you want me to.
No, I was just gonna say, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's a great place to see 60 seconds of one-on-one action. You follow the lineman hunter. He posts a lot of the videos on his Instagram too, but man, I think he has a lot of the best ones from all of the top camps and some of the best practices on the West Coast this past year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can only imagine because I see how active you and Coach Holmes are, kind of with posting, and the TikTok is very effective as a mechanism just because if you want to get fast kind of clips with music and highlights, you can just be like, all right, cool, boom, TikTok, boom, then post to IG,
Yeah, so. Exactly. And for me personally, like, I'm not a big tech guy, might have to find somebody like yourself. And, it just makes it really easy for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot better than, not better, but a lot more simple than, Movie Maker and figuring out all this shit and all these edits. So I really enjoy it. And like Coach Holmes was kind of saying, like, it's a great way to get a lot of views and, just like get that stuff out there and just let people know what kind of work we're doing and, what kind of fun these guys are having at these camps. And I don't even think we really got to promote it that way either, because like, when guys and parents come out, they're just like, this is like unlike any kind of individual work I've ever done with the Pop Warner team or even with my kids' high schools. Like, last Saturday and Sunday, for example, high school football just started back up. There was kids who were like, yeah, I'm skipping that just because I need to get real work before the season starts. And I'm trying to be, trying to go back to my school and kick ass, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And also like, and that kind of stuff is important. And that's why I like a lot of the videos that Manu's been posting as well, because some of those DB drills and like, like that hip movement and all that, man, that's essential on defense and, just playing the game. And, that's the kind of things we need to be learning rather than like some of these vague coaching, points about like how you need to, high IQ, man, have a high IQ. Like, okay, like what about film am I looking at? You know what I mean? Or like pump your feet. Why am I pumping my feet? Do you mean choppy steps? You know what I'm saying? There's just like there's a lot. There's more to it than it's just some of these vague.
The verbiage.
Yeah. And that's not like trying to come for anybody either, because I think everybody that coaches, when you get into it, you do it from the same space, and that's like wanting to help others get better. Because I think that's what a coach does. I don't know if you guys watched Last Chance U, Coach JB from LA.
What kind of question is that, boy? Come on now. You used the first episode of the podcast? But, you didn't, obviously. Go ahead. All right.
But Coach JB, he's one of my favorite coaches to listen to because he's kind of like myself. And he said, the job of a coach is, to get others, or take others where they couldn't take themselves. And so, yeah, I think everybody, when they get into it for the right reasons and stuff. But, I think at the, the higher levels, or if you're going to take it seriously, there's certain channels you got to go through if you're going to, be serious about it. And it doesn't matter what high school you go to, but like say, I want to go Division I or the NFL. Now I got to start being selective with, the kind of coaches I'm working with, or, like, well, what kind of things am I supposed to be learning and doing your research, and, there's a lot more to it. And, that's kind of what we've been trying to bring to the game, I think Coach Holmes can even tell you about it because, he's trying to bring a lot of that to the high school that he works at. And, and I guess, that everywhere, right?
Yeah, I would say, what like Coach T is talking about is, just basically making sure these kids are set up for success, and what we mean by that, make sure they're in their A through G classes, they're passing their classes, they're filing to be with the NCAA clearinghouse, all that kind of stuff, like a lot of kids don't really know that, especially if they don't really have anybody that in their family that already walked that path.
Yeah.
And so, that's another way we're bridging the gap, we're making sure, we're hitting up kids and we're telling them like, hey, send me your transcripts, let me go over your transcripts, because like, since we went through it already, we know what to look for. We know what the colleges are looking for,
100%.
And I would say, even the same thing goes with film, man. Like I'm sure you see a lot of kids, putting their film out there and you're looking at them like, man, this this player sucks or whatever. And it's just, you know, like not necessarily the player sucks. It's just that he doesn't understand what the coaches are looking for when the coaches are watching highlight film, you know? And so like, you know, that's where me and Coach T are coming in and we're like, hey, send me your film before you put it out into the world, you know, so we can kind of, you know, critique it, boom, and then give it right back to them. And then it's just like, it's like the way we give it back is literally how the coaches want to see it because we are the coaches that are watching it, you know? And so, you know, it's just little things like that. But, you know, like I would say, like, you know, there's services are charging kids for something like that, you know? And so it's they kind of like, you know, everybody trying to like pretty much come up off of the kids in a bad way.
Right.
You know, like, I would say like simple stuff, like, you know, just like making sure kids, you know, transcripts are good, they're in the right classes, you know, they're signing up for, you know, the clearinghouse, you know, to be a qualifier, all that stuff. Like, you know, I don't really think that should be like a paid service.
No,
I agree. Yeah, no. Go
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, and I was gonna just say, like, you know, I think you touched on it, you know, when I first met you about, you know, like, you know, how grades, you know, were rough for you, and you know, I never really got to ask, like, was that something at your school that they really pushed, like, even like for somebody who was somebody just interested in being an athlete, you know, like, because I don't know, I never asked, like, did you go and try to like, hey, coach, I want to be on the team, you know, I don't have grades, get me right, like, what was the deal, you know what I mean?
For me, right? That's for
Yeah.
me? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
pretty much. That's what pretty much happened was, yeah, basically, I was like, my first year, I was a fucking knucklehead. I wasn't taking class seriously. I was just fucking, you know, ditching class, just not really doing the right things, not hanging out with the right crew. I mean, you kind of know because we talked about it on your episode last time. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're just not really associating with the right people. So, I wasn't really, this meant nothing to me. You know, I was focused on so many other things, just chilling, enjoying, and not really, you know. And around my junior year, I got my act together. I finally got my grades up. You know, I was able to actually even get enough to graduate, not only on time, but basically, I was on the verge of being being retained, not being able to
Yeah.
graduate on time because I wasn't taking school seriously. Then finally, my junior year, I got my grades back up, and then I'm like, okay, cool, maybe I can give this football thing a shot. And the coach was like, yeah, you can come try out, but you know, what I mean, like he just basically was like, I mean, this is what he said. He's like, you can try out, but there's literally he's like, if guys never played before, we can tell if they never played before, and that's pretty much it, you know. And I was like, well, you know, I mean, I had the opportunity to, I could have tried, you know what I mean, but I wasn't conditioned. I hadn't played. I realized it's better for me, kind of like what Coach Holmes kind of alluded to, use my my senior year to weight train. Like I actually enrolled in weight training and condition and learn how to play. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
work with the coaches, work with, you know, whoever I can outside of actual, like, you know, regular schedule practice and games, and then basically just try to learn the position. So that way, when spring 2008 rolled around, and I was able to actually graduate and walk on as a full time, you know, kind of true freshman at Santa City College, I was ready to go. You know, I wasn't ready to go at all. I was a skinny, 135-pound, uncoordinated ass kid, but I was ready to go in terms of kind of knowing what the expectations are going to be. And Coach Dub was basically a godsend in that regard. You know, I'm almost glad that I didn't play high school because, I mean, God knows what would have happened to me, you know, not being able to kind of be under Coach Dub's tutelage. You know, and kind of what you said about, you know, I mean, Coach T, what you just said about kind of Coach JB, he's also one of my favorite coaches too, because when I watch Last Chance U, it brings me back to those days. You know what I mean? All of our days, right? When we played JUCO, when we were all JUCO players, right? And it also brings me back to kind of point that he said. He said that, you know, I remember he was in the room with like a recruiter, and the recruiter was like, you know, so he's like, what do you think about, you know, JUCO coach versus D1? He's like, why don't you want to go coach a D1 coach? And then Coach JB looks at me and he's like, the reason why is because us coaches here at the JUCO, we have the hardest jobs. Like coaches at D1 can't do what we do. Like they can't prime these guys to get to the D1 level. You know, kind of like what you did, coach, kind of what you with Sebastian. You primed a guy to get to a D1 level. That's what those are the exact words, you know. Working with you, he said that kind of what you guys said about kind of getting involved. He's like he loves it. He loved it when you got involved in practice because it helped him kind of understand and realize how to play the DN position, you know. And essentially with that, you know, kind of with me too, with Coach Dub. Coach Dub never ran routes, but he would always kind of, you know, get involved as whichever way he could. And when I was coaching also 2 years ago, I used the same tactics in the sense that maybe I won't run a route, but I'm gonna put the bags on and I'm gonna beat you at the line. And you gotta beat me at the line. You guys are probably bigger than me, right? These receivers, but you have to beat me at the line in order to, you know, get open and catch one of these balls, right? And essentially, those are the types of tools and techniques I think are, I guess, I guess, critical. I think it's critical to the I guess the development of players, right? because you can bark, you can talk about concepts all you want, but until they actually see you in practice applying it a little bit, you know what I mean, that you won't really get the respect. Not only we not get the respect, it's not going to register. You know what I mean? It won't register. So, yeah.
What would you say most about like your time with Coach Dub was most valuable? Because like I hear you talk talk shit about yourself, but like I see you catch a couple passes, and I'm like, shit, you came a fucking long way if it feels really that bad in the beginning, because you don't look too bad, man.
Yeah, bro. No, hey, man. I mean, for me, anything goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't take myself so seriously as much as I should, because I've accomplished so much that I don't care at this point, right? So I mean, because it's like, I mean, life's too short, bro. Like, I mean, you gotta laugh, you gotta smile. You know what I mean? I do believe I was an exceptional player. I do believe that I needed to work with Coach Dub to kind of get to that point. I do think I had the ability, right? Kind of to your question about high school, I had the ability, but I had to get refined. Someone had to kind of, like we said, like what you guys are doing, Coach Holmes, Coach Tia, Coach T2. What you guys are doing with these prospects is exactly what I needed. I needed that, because coming on to JUCO without even playing in high school, I didn't know what the fuck I was getting myself into. You know what I mean? I almost feel like if I didn't go to San Jose City College, I went to another JUCO and I was working with another coach, I wouldn't have been as successful as I ended up being. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And I think every JUCO, or even like there's a lot of schools that kind of got like that hidden gem coach, right? That knows what it takes, or the player whisperer for a certain position, that's just out there getting guys right, or making those kind of relationships, and I think that's a really another big piece about it, right? Is building those kind of relationships where we can find common ground. And like every time I hear you guys talk about Coach Dub, it's just a lot about how he treated everybody the same, through hard work type stuff, and like how he also himself had humble beginnings. And I think us three right here, we try to bring that same kind of thing. Like we try to build our guys up, no matter who you are. The big thing about like working with the OBM staff and like the pop-up boys is just as long as you come with the intention to work hard, and you're hungry, and you want to make better of your situation, what I'm saying, then OBM, we can do something. You know what I mean? like that's basically what the OBM movement is all about. You know what I mean? It's just not never turning anything down, and just always being ready to build somebody up, and just be about that. You know what I'm saying? OBM being like, oh, we about that shit. I mean, like, let's do it.
Who started Oh Believe Me?
So like it kind of started from like I said, just kind of like a saying, you know what I mean? Like growing up, like whenever somebody would ask if we could do something or something like that, and then when we say like do something, I guess like a challenge, my dad would always respond with like, oh, believe me, you know what I mean? Like, we got this, or you got this, or something like that. We kind of just took it and ran with it. And that's kind of been like our mantra, or like our motto for anything, you know what I mean? Like if I ask Maya, like, shit, should we run this pop-up on Saturday? He'd be like, oh, believe me. Or if I'm like, damn, we got like 60 orders of hoodies. You think we can knock these out in 3 days? He's like, oh, believe me, like, you know what I mean? And it went from that, and at first we started kind of like, wanting to make clothes and all that, but we just didn't know like, like what's behind these clothes, you know what I'm saying? And we had we still have a bunch of designs, we have one right now that's really popular, but like we didn't know like how we were gonna I don't know, brand ourselves and things like that. But we kind of just let things flow naturally. And, football is what we love. And, coaching players and, getting out there in the community is what we love. So that's kind of what Oh Believe Me is. And the other thing to it is, you see we're all siblings. Me and Shawn's parents are siblings. And, me and my brother here, of course. And so, it's all a family thing. Like that's one thing that parents love about it too. When they come out, they're like, damn, I didn't realize that, you guys were all brothers and cousins, and my kids are out there, that's another reason we kind of started it, because, we also have aspirations for some of our own kids, you know what I mean? Whether it be athletically or academically, we just want to be there, guiding them, and, whoever they hang out with at the same time, like, because, they say you are who you hang out with. And, I just want not only my son to be gamed up, but like whoever comes out there hanging out with him or in the community to be like, damn, we know the standard, we know the what kind of people we need to be. And, if you see anybody out there wearing Oh Believe Me, then, that they all know the standard, and, that they're all part of that lifestyle. So, yeah, that's kind of that. But yeah, my brother, he runs the page, and, you know, my cousins, you know, they make everything. I got my cousin over here right now. He's on the back end of this thing. He's busting out dummy hoodies right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like he did 60 in 3 days. So shoot, how many have we sold like up to right now?
Probably like 100 right now, honestly. And it's just crazy though, like touching on what my brother was saying, like it really started like just like making a joke out of my dad, like how he would talk. Cause you know, my dad was like, oh, believe me, T, it's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
he used to just joke about it, like, you know, like amongst each other, like just like making fun of my dad. And then like it just stuck. And then like I don't know, like as we grew, it's just like, man, trying to figure out what avenues we want to go in life. It's like, man, you know, we like to have a good time, but we also like to dress nice. And like, so it's like, man, we might as well like make some clothes and see what happens with it. And like, in a sense, it kind of just like when we just talk about it, it was like, man, this is the lifestyle we live. Like, man, oh, believe me, it's a lifestyle. Like he was saying, it's like, man, you think you do this? Like, believe me, or like, you know, it's like, it's oh, believe me is everything. And like, yeah, man, it's literally a lifestyle. And like, we're just doing what we know best. And right now, it's football, and it's like, you know, like, oh, believe me, it's like from some humble beginnings, man, some real humble beginnings. So it's just like, you know, whenever like we have a chance to like, you know, give back or like put on for the youth, man, we're gonna do it just because like, man, that's what we do. And like the kids, like, man, literally like Sunday, one of the kids told me like, man, you guys taught me more than what my high school coach taught me. And you know, and it's just like, man, like I don't even know what to say when things it's just humbling, you know, and like they just trip out like, man, like why you guys do all this? Like, you know, like you guys don't have to. And like I tell them straight up, like, honestly, if you guys were in here, like me and my brother would still be here right now barbecuing and like doing these drills. So it's just like you guys just, you know, just kind of give us an audience in a sense, like without you guys. So it's like, but you guys come, that's cool too. Like,
I guess that's one thing we can also touch on. So like what we've been doing, besides the camps, we've been doing like free Saturday pop-up training for offensive and defensive linemen, any ages. Like, you know, the youngest that we've trained, my daughter's only 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? But you know, she runs with the linebackers. My wife's cousin, he played for New Mexico, University of New Mexico, and you know, he was a player of the week, defensive MVP of the team. You know, all Mountain West, all that great stuff. And you know, he's been, you know, kind enough to come out and help us. And so, yeah, on the weekends, that's how this whole pop-up thing's been going. And, you know, we've been working with a lot of guys. And kind of back to what my brother was talking about the gear is kind of see every coach kind of looking the same, like, hey, this is me in my dry fit long sleeve or with my polo on and my damn jeans or my ugly ass shorts. So, you know what I mean? Like with OBM, we like, not only is it like the sports and the lifestyle thing, but we kind of try to make it like, what the hell would we want to rock out there on the field type shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look like y'all, I want to look like me type deal.
No, and one thing, Coach Holmes, because I mean, the photo that I used for this episode. I mean, when you're wearing like, you know, the shirt, the hoodie, kind of what you're wearing right now, the OBM, you know, hoodie. I mean, it really kind of to Coach Tia's point, it really kind of makes a statement. It makes a statement in the sense that, like you said, you know, we changed the game. Yeah, you know, y'all changed the game. Like, we're here to change the game. We're here to change it. We're here to bring a swag, a new kind of flavor to coaching, and we're here to basically put the movement out there, not just, you know, not just out there, for just that example for the kids, but obviously for the community, and also kind of, you know, to just basically try to revolutionize, be trendsetters. So, I mean, I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, and I would say, just real quick, just like no knock on like no other coaches or whatever. It's just like we understand like coaching football in California is not like coaching football in Texas or in the South or anything like that. You know, like, you know, kids can literally do whatever they want in California. You know, if they decide to play football, we're here to coach them, you know. So like it's not easy for, you know, pretty much all coaches who coach football in California, you know, because this is not option A for the youth, you know. This might be option D, E, or F, you know, or might not even be on the table with some families or something like that, you know. Whereas if we were in Texas, like we would literally get every boy in the whole town trying out to, you know, all that stuff, you know, like, so, you know, I would say, you know, like there's a lot of good coaches in California. It's just harder for them to, I guess, you know, get their shine on. But I would say, you know, part of us doing this is we're also connecting with other coaches. You know, I'm probably sure you've seen us connecting with Train Different and you know, just like other coaches and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, like basically we're trying to build like not only the player community but the coaching community. You know, like a lot of coaches right now, they don't really like to coach with other guys, and you know, for some reason, you know, that's odd or whatever. You know, and we feel like as long as it's about the kids, we should all be able to work together. You know, because like we're basically all, especially if, you know, all adults, you know, role models, you know, helping mold this young man into like a better man, you know, to go to college or to, you know, just be a better person in his life, you know. So you know, like the movement's like all like just full 360, you know, it's going everywhere, you know. It's just not for the kids, it's for the coaches, it's for the parents, you know, like it's for the coaches' wives, you know, like it's for everybody, you know. And it's just spreading that positivity and just just reinforcing it with the, you know, the daily deposits.
And Coach Holmes, you actually touched on an interesting point that Sebastian made. Kind of like you talk about the beef between coaches. You know, the beef between grown ass men who have children not willing to work with their that hinders the development of the kids. And that's what we're all here to do when we're coaching, right? We're here to help these kids. We're not here to fucking build legacies for ourselves as coaches, because you know our time has come and gone. You know, I got this, but I'm not gonna fucking put that on and like be like, all right, I'm here to anyone's out here, baby. We all go. No. No. Okay, if I'm out there with you and I'm out in Morocco, I'm working. I'm working with these kids. Maybe I should, right? Maybe still fits. I don't know. Anyways, but I was gonna say, but like, you know, if I'm out there working with these kids, the point is, I've done this. We've done this. We've seen this. We've gone through this. We're here to help you. So once you get there and you need to go through this, you kind of seen this before, you know. And essentially, that's number one.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to too, man. Like a lot of the cats are like looking out for self instead of like the kids, man. And like, man, we really do all of this out of love, man. And like, I think what separates us from like a lot of other like cats too is like we keep it real. You know what I mean? Like coaches like to switch up, like, you know, depending on who's around, but we're the same cats on and off the field. Your parents there if they're not there. Like if we're gonna tell you something, like trust me, it's gonna be something we'll say in front of your parents or whoever, the cameraman, it doesn't matter. And like I think like, you know, a lot of people like take well to that because like, man, like these genuine cats out here, like we love what we do.
And I think to that point too is like, you know, I think that's what we try to be, kind of what the game is missing, you know, like I hate to say it, but like, you know, a lot of it is fucking watered down now, you know what I'm saying? Especially like in this day and age with social media and all that, it's more about like, you know, going viral one time to try to boost your brand rather than like, you know, building yourself up. You, whether you're a player or a coach, you know what I mean? Like there's players over here, you know, who some of them they made their whole following or, you know, recruitment off of certain plays or things like that, and they kind of took their foot off the gas, or they're not necessarily retaining any new info. You know what I mean? And I think the same goes for coaches. You know, like I see certain coaches out there like, oh, I had this one freak of nature, you know, and he went to Alabama, and you know now I'm putting my name all over that. Dude was 6'8", 390 though, you know, the crazy ass size or speed. Like, yeah, I'm responsible for all of that. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what we're trying to change it in the coaching game. Like, rather just have kind of like a recipe. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're not saying we're the only ones that do that. You know what I mean? Because somebody taught me this shit, right? So, but a lot of this stuff is, you know, just we're taking it from the college game and, you know, the 4-year game, and just giving it back to the community and not charging for it. You know what I mean? Because like growing up, like, you know, we did that whole thing. We didn't play Pop Wonder and all that. You know, one, because we couldn't afford it, and you know, two, there wasn't always a team in our neighborhood. And you know, a lot of the guys you see that are, you know, in the pros or D1 or all that, they played their whole life. They're, you know, they're excelling at these private schools. And you know, how do you get to private school? You play Pop Warner, and they want you from there. And you know, like, so we're kind of here for those guys who didn't have those opportunities. You know, and you know, if a parent wants to, you know, donate or help, stuff like that. Like we always, we allow that kind of stuff, but we're not big on like, promoting ourselves or anything like that. If it ever looks like that, it is what it is. But we're just about promoting like, that positivity and like learning and community type deal. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's what like you even said it before. We're trying to set a new trend, be different, new standard for coaches. Kind of just like take out the ego and like and put some fucking love into that shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Yes, sir. Do it one time, baby. Because we talking about all love, all gratitude, no positivity. Because even with me, I mean, like kind of what you said about perception. It's like, remember I was telling you yesterday about dudes from either high school, dudes, whatever, saying like, oh yeah, like like what, like who you trying to fool? Like, I mean, like we all know that you're lying about your career. Like you're fake, you're a fraud, you're this, you're that. I'm like, yo, bro, it ain't even like that. It ain't even like that. All right. I'm just here for spreading positivity. I love football. This is what I love to do. That's why I have this fucking podcast. That's why I put myself out there, putting in work. That's why I have Manu basically post the video because I can't post the video the way Manu does, and I can't run like how Manu does, even though Manu's 4 years older than me. He can still run better than me. I can still throw to him, right, and basically get some good footage, right? I mean, essentially, it's just because I love it. I love being out there. I love the way it makes me feel, like we all do. It's a passion and kind of what you talk about giving back. Giving back is the ultimate message, but ultimately, you're doing it with a new with a new flavor, new swag. One thing I love about kind of your guys' posts when you guys post on social media, and like you said, Coach, it's not you. It's you and the players. It's like, okay, like look at us, like we're standing because we got in some work, something that you can build around, something you can build off of. It's a foundation, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much it.
And like
I would say,
go Coach.
I would say one thing too about it is it's just like we're literally just being 100% us right now.
Right.
Yes.
Like literally everything is just like 100% us, and it's just like, I don't, like I'm pretty sure right now you probably feel the same vibes. You're getting to like be yourself 100% every day of the week.
Yeah.
You don't have bad days. Like every day is almost like a great day,
100%.
Like you're just doing your thing 100% of the time, and just vibing, just feeling good, And I think that's what the kids are feeling too. They're just like, oh man, like it feels good to be doing your thing. And like, I would say part of doing your thing is just like getting better every day. There's something we can kind of get better on every day, and those are just those vibes, just vibing.
Big facts. Yeah, and I think what Coach just said is hella crazy because I have a player that I work with, and he's been through a lot, and he's in and out of the streets, and he kind of we share like a lot of the similarities basically, and he was just like, damn, you love coaching in football so damn much, don't you? Like how the hell, you know what I'm saying? How did it end up to be this way? You know what I'm saying? And I just told him like, man, football is the only place in my life where I could be my full self and tell you that like, hey man, see those busters over there? They're soft. We're gonna go get on their heads right now. And guess what? Nobody's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We're doing this according to the game. And can you imagine that if you're gonna get into a fight at school and we're gonna be like, hey, send me your tape so I can see how you fight. It's on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're doing with football, man. We're like, hey man, let's swap tapes, bro. I'm gonna see what you do. You see what I do, and it's on and cracking. And so football is like, it's like some organized fucking crime, you know what I'm saying? So
big facts.
And I told one of my guys that like, man, you see when I come out here, I don't sit here with a suit and tie on some like fitness shit. I'm out here on some life shit, you know what I'm saying? Talking about like, who's a man and who's gonna be a real man, you know what I'm saying? Or what I'm seeing out here, you know what I mean? And I do a lot of what is that damn shit called? It was I don't know if it's motivational interviewing, but like it's something similar to that, like at my job where we help guys identify like what is it that they're doing, without me being the one saying it. I can just say, hey, I see if it kind of, from what I'm seeing here, looks like you're either tired or something's going on type shit, and I let them speak on it for themselves. Like, oh no, coach, it's this or it's XYZ, you know what I'm saying? And and we go from there. But yeah, and like that's what we do. We try to build guys up just being ourselves, though, you know what I mean? Because it's much better coming from a peer. I'm not a peer, you know what I'm saying? Are we friends? Yeah, but the relationship is a little different, right? Player to coach. But it's a lot better hearing it from a somebody who's more like you than like more of like a parental figure type coach. You know what I'm saying? And one person, I don't know about my brothers. I will ask them right after this. But me myself personally is like, I always wanted to be like a Pete Carroll type. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm a fucking asshole, but I'm hella cool. We're gonna have some great times, hella fun and shit. But I'm an asshole though. I'm hardworking, and I'll catch your ass. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, shit. You want to say what coach you want to be or modeled your game after?
Honestly, like if I had to, I've never even thought that far into the thought process of it, but like the way like I would see myself as a coach, probably like Jim Harbaugh. Honestly, like I played a skill position, but when I'm out there, like I literally want to go out there and punch somebody in the mouth, running the rock, and it's like you show me who's big dog, and like when we're in between the white lines, I'm serious as hell. But like if I got to recruit somebody, I'll bust a slumber party like Jim Harbaugh did. Like so, it's like like outside the white lines, man, we have a great time. But when we're in between them, it's like, hey, dog, like the kill switch is activated. You know what I mean? So it's just like when he had on my bricks and he had the blood on him. He's like, man, I wanted to wipe the blood on my face too. And I was like, I feel the same way when it's go time, baby. Like I need some war paint.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. What about you, Coach Holmes? You're on mute, Coach. Coach, you're on mute. You're on mute.
My bad. Shoot. I would say this guy's not even really famous. At least to me and Coach Nate, he's famous. But I would say Coach Earl Buckingham. He was Coach Nate's D-line coach at Anza. He was the D-line coach over there. But just straight like old school brother, man. He played for Lou Holtz back in the day with Arkansas. And, just some of the stories that he would just tell us, about like, how football was back in the day, and, what they, how they played ball. And it's just like, like I feel like I come from my school powers, like right now it's a lot of zone and all that, so a lot of shotgun stuff. So, like my favorite kind of football is power football. And Coach Buck, like, he was one of the best D-line trainers I've ever came across, and he's just, super real guy, super, just like not really a rah-rah guy, but just like super real. When he spoke to you, like it resonated with you, and he just always gave you that real stuff. And yeah, I would just say Coach Earl Buckingham, man. And he would, old school technique, he would come out, he'd roll up a towel and then put it in his shirt, and then he would have his towel, on his shirt. And it would just, he'd be out there at practice, look like he had like a neck roll in and stuff. And so, yeah, that was Coach Buck.
You remember the neck roll, Asif?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so Coach Buck, like Coach Holmes was talking about, he was my D-line coach at De Anza. He was kind of our version of like a Coach Dub, I would say. And just the only reason I would say that is because Coach Buck played in the SEC when it was still, I guess it used to be called the Texas Conference or the South Conference when he played against Eric Dickerson and, guys like that. And, his coach was Lou Holtz and, Lou Holtz College Game Day, all that, all over TV. And, he would always joke around to us like, you never judge a book by its cover, because I don't think Lou Holtz ever played football, but he was just saying like he can whip any man into shape. You know what I'm saying? And, just like Coach Holmes was just talking about is a little bit of like the grit that, they were instilling into guys back in the day, and kind of just teaching them that like, more so than football, like they did teach technique. And like, he taught me that he's one of the greatest technicians I ever met. But like, one of the main aspects that he taught us was, the mental piece and like, that daily grind part, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody would, we've heard Muhammad Ali say it before, right? Like, oh man, I hate practice. I hated every minute of it, blah, blah, blah. But I loved winning. I loved being the champ and, that type of deal and stuff. So, Coach Buck always, taught us that there's a difference between working out and there's a difference between training. You know what I'm saying? And, he always told us that, you don't work out. You know what I'm saying? You train, because, like when you're training, there's an end goal and, there's like a mission and that type of deal. You know what I'm saying? So like you kind of touched on with, with Coach Dub, a lot of it was repetition and, just that mental drive, you know what I'm saying? That Mamba mentality, as you would say. And, I kind of tell my players, I like to joke around like, you guys got the last OGs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just teaching everybody to be grimy in the trenches no more. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these young guys, nobody wants to play nose guard or one tech or be the center type deal. But you know, the guys that we coach, they do want to fight in the trenches. They do want to get dirty and they do want to pancake your shit, do the syrup dance on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's the kind of energy we're trying to bring to every pop up and things like of that nature. So, you know, I mean, like the guys that we coach, you know, I have a mom that told me, you know, and my son, you know, he wasn't so confident, but like, you know, since you guys been training him, like he can't shut up about football and, you know, how he's going to come out and ball dudes up and shit like that. And, you know, I'm just like, man, you know, you know, we're trying to build that up. You know what I'm saying? And we will take anybody, for, like I said before, from any level, as long as you got that hunger, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't got it, you're out there, you know, we're going to build that up because, you know, that's just the kind of people we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes you got to dig that out of people. And, you know, that's when the days get fun as a coach. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you're doing your job for real. They make you work for it.
100%. Yeah, it's funny because when I saw Sebastian, he said the same thing. He said one thing about you, Coach Gio, was that since you're one of the younger coaches, he can relate more to you. He said him and his guys relate more to you because the fact that, like you said, you can kind of get in there, but you can also teach them kind of, you know, how to have that hunger. Because Sebastian said this himself. You'll hear it on the interview. He said he feels this generation soft, right? But working with coaches like you, it kind of gets that dog out of them. You know what I mean? So yeah, Coach Holmes can laugh at that because you know what I'm talking about, Coach, right? Pretty much, obviously, the biggest thing is just knowing that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Coach Gia, that social media has basically made it so we're not focused on actually trying to become better. We're focused on just getting viral, you know? But if you're able to use social media as a way to continue motivating yourself and continue to get out there and get better, then you're using it for the right purposes, right? And obviously, like, you know, I mean, you mentioned Coach Pete Carroll. I mean, you know, one of my good friends, Lofa Tupu, you know, a Polynesian Hall of Fame inductee, right? He played for Pete Carroll in college and he played for Pete Carroll in the pros, right? And he said Pete Carroll is like Benjamin Button. He just keeps getting younger. He doesn't. He does no off switch. You know, there's no off switch, right? And obviously, kind of, you know, that's the type of coaches that guys gravitate towards because, you know, you're a player's coach. You're like you said, you're gonna get you're gonna get pissed off. You're gonna get just work the fuck out, but you're gonna have a ton of fun winning.
Yep.
So
And
that's it.
like I like to tell my players coach, I'm not a players coach. I'm the players coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Big
sir.
difference. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a players coach, but the players coach. So I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta be a real OG when you play for me. You know what I'm saying? You come, you know, regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Dressed like the you know, the first character you get on GTA with no clothes and all that. And you leave looking like Allen Iverson and you have 2 girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of swag that I'm trying to bring into my guys type stuff.
Big
So
facts.
we want to unleash the swag, or if you're not a swag guy, then we know we want to unleash the demon or whatever that is, you know, that you are. You know,
Yeah.
not everybody is the same character, but you know, whatever you are, we're gonna figure that out, and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna develop that. We're gonna mold you into, you know, what you should be. And I think that's another different thing that we never really touched on. And maybe we did just a little bit, but like, you know, the recipe ain't the same for every single person, right? You know what I mean? Like I might not be the 6'5" DM with long arms. I might be the 6-foot guy, you know, where I gotta, you know, work my way around some other difficulties I have. I might not be as fast. So, you know, the one of the best things that I love about coaching with my brothers is that we kind of have like we're looking for the same thing in certain players and when we develop our guys. And so I'm not just one guy dealing with a bunch of these kids or with random coaches trying to tell them like, hey, this is what I'm looking for on the spot. We all know what we're looking for. He can correct me. He can correct the guy. Or if I'm busy speaking to some players, you know, they can always walk around and like get guys right. And, you know, like, and the same goes for that energy, right? Like that same shit that I be talking when they were moving around, that's just, you know, contagious everywhere. So we had guys who were, you know, quiet. Now they over here with blonde hair and nose ring and a tattoo on their neck. You know what I'm saying?
You got them. You got them dance Rodman up, right, Coach?
Yeah.
No, but for real though, I mean, what you're saying is correct, right? Like in my experience too, right? Every player is different. In order to get that, you have to work, and that's what I was talking about myself. This is why Coach Dub is so influential to me, right? I'm not 6 feet. I don't run a 4.3 40. I'm not 210 pounds solid muscle, right? I needed to figure out what I can do. I can be effective in the slot. You know what I mean? I won't be able to go outside because I'm not going to be able to go down the field in 4.25 seconds, right? I'm not Randy Moss, who's the real GOAT, unlike your post on Facebook. But basically, you know, essentially, I'm just, I'm, you know, I'm like a Julian Edelman / Wes Welker type, right? But I'll be able to do things like you know in other areas too. I'm not just a slot receiver. I'm also a special teamer. I can be a gunner. I can be up back. I can be whatever you need me to be. I can be a jammer on return. Make sure my return man has a wide open lane. You know, cut around the sideline. But essentially, just being able to work with my strengths and make sure that you know whatever I have, whatever I lack in athleticism, I can make it up either in effort. You know, and essentially that's something that you want to preach to your kids. Like, hey man, just because you're not going to start, you know, you mean that doesn't mean your time ain't going to come. Just keep working. Just keep working, you know, because I mean, if anyone's proof of it, I am. You know what I mean? My whole journey was because I just kept working. I never quit. Like I got cut fucking what, 2 times from 2 different arena teams before I got signed by the Eagles. So I mean, it's just one of those things, bro. I mean, like ultimately, I think you know, as coaches, we have to make sure kids understand motivation, but we have to, like you said, like you know, kind of what you guys are doing is perfect because you're really exemplifying the strengths of your players. You're getting that out of them, you know, and it's not even you're not forcing it. It's just happening naturally. It's a natural progression. You know what I mean?
Organic vibes. We're going for those organic vibes.
Organic vibes. Perfect, coach. Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's probably one of the most fulfilling parts right now, right? Like, shoot, every year you get new guys, you got new talent that you know is overlooked or trying to get better. And like, you know, right now we got some dogs, and you know, I think that's kind of been the message throughout this whole time. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, right now during this whole time, there's, of course, you know, it's a tough time. Some people are they're not working out or doing things for other reasons, right? You know, COVID is a scary thing and all that type of deal. But you know, if there's somebody who's outside and training and all that, like, you know, we're the guys that are out here, you know, dedicating it, not us, the players. You guys are the guys out here dedicating your time and your life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to have that energy and, you know, we're teaching them that ethic now. So when they come out, like these guys are playing in 2 weeks and shit. And the pop-up boys, you know, what we call our guys, you're going to know about them. You know what I'm saying? On game day when these 2 weeks come up, you know, and we got guys from, that we coach from like San Jose to like, you know, Sacramento who are going to be playing out there. And, you know, these guys have been putting in work for months while, you know, a lot of their peers have been chilling, but, you know, they're popping out of nowhere now. They're going to play. So, you know, just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what the mentality looks like on the field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. A lot of good things to come, right? A lot of good things to come, right? Oh, believe me. A lot of good things to come, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, now we're gonna slice up Coach Nate his hot takes because they're actual garbage, but we're gonna go through it.
Whoa!
All right, so let's go right here. All right, this man said Jerry Rice is greater than Randy Moss and T.O. He said Jordan is like light years ahead of LeBron, and LeBron can't catch him. And it's never gonna catch him. So I mean, we have to go through that, all right? Because for me, Randy Moss is my favorite receiver. Is the reason why I worried he won it was because T.O. is because Randy Moss was on the Patriots at the time, and Randy Moss wished me happy birthday on Instagram 2 years ago. So I mean, I'm gonna send you guys that post just so you can see that and verify yourself. But basically, Randy Moss is my opinion is so here's the thing. It depends on what GOAT is, right? Is GOAT championships? Is it clutch playoff moments, or is GOAT kind of the best talent like that you've ever seen, right? Because if we talk about just in terms of intrinsic athletic talents, Randy Moss, in my opinion, is the most talented receiver I've ever seen. However, Jerry Rice is the most accomplished. Like for example, Tom Brady is the most accomplished football player we've ever seen, but Aaron Rodgers may be viewed as the most talented, right? Because of the arm shake and everything like that. So it just depends. And same thing with LeBron. Like LeBron is the most versatile basketball player we've ever seen, but Jordan has, you know, the rings. He has the countless
I would say GOAT goes for accomplishments.
Accomplishments?
Because I would say part of, you know, accomplishing all those feats is because you were probably a physical specimen in one way or
Do you know how many games Jerry played? Remember that year when Moss tied the touchdown record, or he beat it by one, like 21 or 22 touchdowns?
That's my take, at least. You know, I would
Yeah, no, I agree with your take. And then kind of to Coach T's question, yeah, Jerry Rice played 12 games and Randy Moss played 16. And so, yeah. But still, I mean, 23 TDs. I mean, no one's even come close to that. Like,
but had Jerry had 4 more games and scored like 30, would we be having the GOAT combo? Like, Jerry had 7 more, but that one year, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, but you know what's insane though? Randy Moss set it his rookie year. He set the rookie touchdown record and the regular season touchdown record like 9 years later. So I mean, it's just like.
What about if Jerry Rice sent you a birthday card? Would that change it?
Yeah, Jerry Rice signed a birthday card for me, and he basically said 81 forever. Then I'd be like, all right, yeah, man, we good.
He'll never say 81 forever.
Yeah.
He has to say it though. Randy Moss said it. Randy Moss commented, man. Jerry's got to do the same thing.
My favorite Randy was 84.
It was 84, but I mean, I like 81 a little more. So go.
What you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like I just think like the GOAT, it's like not only accomplishments, but like what can they do? And like Moss is not gonna block nobody. Moss is rarely gonna go down the middle on anybody. Like whether it's a slant, a drag, whatever. We already know his route. It's the GOAT. And it's just like, come on, it's not even close. I would put Jerry Rice, of course, accomplishments, but it's also like the morale he's gonna bring to the team. Even if he's having a bad day, he's like, oh, I'm gonna walk to the locker room, guys. We've seen Moss do it. Number 2, I put T.O. I mean, T.O. is a head case, but come on, dog. You get the rock in primetime T.O.
Yes.
He's giving somebody a stiffy down the middle and going 93. Like he can beat you on a go, a slant, a drag, and he's a run blocker. Like one of the best like rushing touchdowns I've ever seen was Garrison Hurst's touchdown run on the Niners.
Yeah.
And who do you think beat him down there? Who do you think beat Garrison Hurst there?
Yes, sir. 81. But you know what? And I think that's an interesting point because T.O. was kind of he embodied what Jerry Rice was, but he was just a bigger, better version. And when I say better, I mean like physically talented better, right? In the sense that he was faster, vertical. He had much better vertical leap ability than Jerry ever did, and obviously he was big, so he could, like you said, run blocking, zone blocking, and me, I was a blocking receiver, so I love T.O. for that reason. You know what I mean? Because speed was never my game. You know, I was just T.O. could obviously just, like you said, and your points are valid because for me, you know, being a special teamer, I resonate with the guy who's not going to be a superstar mentality. And I think as us coaches, we don't want the player who has a superstar mentality, right? We want a guy who's coachable. Right, we want a guy who's going to be able to. Team is down, his head is still going to be up, and we're still going to be able to, you know, try to win. Right?
Yeah, still locked in.
He's still locked in, you know. So, and Randy Moss did lose me a Super Bowl in the Niners, so I fucking hate him for that shit. The touchdown was like right there, bro. It was right there. It's like right there, and it hits the hands, and then I'm like, motherfucker, like what? Can you not catch? What happened? I'm like, man. Anyways. So yeah, go ahead.
And I think move on to the next one. For me, it's kind of the same thing for like MJ and LeBron. Like, not so much like talent wise. Like, who the hell? LeBron is a freak, and like LeBron is like kind of like one of those talents that like nobody could claim that dude. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. Remember, I was talking about coaches that like to claim guys. Like, can you imagine if there was a coach that claimed LeBron's talent? Like, yeah, he was nothing before he met me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're talking about ability, LeBron for sure, but like all around, you know. I think the game is not only about like talent, it's also like, you know, every sport is about learning and like lessons in life, right? And you know, team sports are just about like how do you mesh with other people, how do you bring others up while also being a star yourself? And I think, man, come on, baby, MJ, what? 6 rings, undefeated, the ultimate, like, you know what I'm saying? He probably birthed Mamba mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of deal. And you know, that's like mindset is everything to me. And I love LeBron, but Hollywood, baby, come on now, stop it. Like
Hollywood, baby, that's what we on, baby. We on, baby. We on, baby. Yeah, it's Hollywood, baby. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but MJ also kind of had his moments too. I mean, he was a leader. He was a great winner. Probably greatest winner of in the modern era, right? I just think it's interesting though because it's like, well, MJ, you know, there are instances where now since The Last Dance came out, there are teammates who said like, you know, they were physically and verbally mistreated. But you know, sometimes you know what? Hey, I mean, like it's at the end of the day, it's a sport, it's a team sport. We got to win, you know. So, I mean, I think you just have to be like mentally tough enough to kind of take your criticism and know your role on the team. Like Steve Kerr, for example, was a perfect example of like a role player. Like, you know, when his time came, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be ready. John Paxson, when his time came, I'm gonna be ready. You know, so I mean, I think every superstar needs to be a leader, like you said, coach. Like you need to be able to lead, you need to be able to inspire the morale, and you also need to be able to make your role players better. You know, if you can make your role players better, then in my opinion, you're truly great. But if you are individually great and your team is losing, then are you really great? Yes, but are you really like? I mean, are you in the GOAT discussion? No, you're not. Right? You can't be.
Yeah.
So,
and not saying LeBron doesn't do that, but we're talking about success rate and all that. Like, yeah, LeBron's been there 9 times, but like, are you there when you get swept? Not really. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Who showed up? Like, so
yeah. But I mean, we also have to consider the competition, because I think if MJ played in this era against the Warriors, I don't know if MJ would be able to win every single series. You know what I mean? Because
you think LeBron will be able to get beat down by the Pistons though?
oh man, see, and that's what I love about this. It's fun to talk about it, but that's why I can't. That's why I'm almost also sick of it, because it's like you got like this brutal era of like bully ball, right? Where motherfuckers can just maul dudes. It's like football open tackle, right? Like yeah, no, we're tackle this dude when he's come up the lane, right? And then you got this era now where it's like 3-point shooting. You can't hand check, you can't touch a dude, otherwise it's a foul. But you have better athletes. They're better athletes. They're all around better athletes. You know, I mean, they're guys they can jump higher, they're taller, they're longer, they can shoot better. I mean, it's insane, you know. So I mean, the question is, you know what I mean, like you said, coach, it's like, who's better? You know what I mean? Are they really, can you compare it? You really can't. It's two different styles of basketball, in my opinion. It really is. Like, as soon as the Warriors came to the fold, the league became a 3-point shoot. It changed the league. The league was no longer the NBA. I mean, it wasn't the NBA of old. It's now the NBA of new. You know what I mean? So
people just got to keep it real with themselves. Like, I don't think Jordan's the GOAT. Like, dog, think about how great Embiid and Anthony Davis and them would have been in that era. A center who could stretch the floor. Like, come on, dog. And like LeBron and Kobe had to go against that. Plus, it's just like, I never heard of freaking anybody shoot like MJ. I think Kobe's the GOAT, dog. And it's just like Mamba mentality. You know, you shoot any kind of shot. Kobe, and it's just like Kobe was great in both generations of basketball. You know what I mean? Like, he showed he can ball in the 90s. Showed he's dope in the 2000s, 2010 and up. He got a ring in that era too.
Yeah.
And it's like Kobe actually went against like some real life ballers, and like that mentality is like, I don't know. It's just something that you can't explain. It's either you got it or you don't. Like, it's the kill switch. And like, it's even that way with your teammates. It's like, hey, dog, like, you come up to this level or you fall under like a limbo. Like, I really think Kobe's the GOAT, because like, when it's go time and like you need that guy, like, he's not going to look around like, oh, so who wants the shot? You know what I mean? And he's not going to pass that shot either. He'll shoot it with 5 guys on him. Like, and it's just like, I just feel like, I think Kobe is the real life GOAT. He proved he could do it without Shaq too. MJ never showed he can do it without Rodman or Pippen. You know what I mean? And like, what was MJ before Rodman or Pippen?
I mean, that's a what? That's a mic drop.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bias opinions.
I'm a Suns fan, by the way, dog. So I hated Kobe his whole career. Like,
no, real talk though, because if you think about it, I mean, MJ during the 80s, he was getting just dogged, and it wasn't until, Rodman, Pippen, all them boys got there. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, Pippen until Pippen got there. Because Pippen got there, that's when they went on the first three-peat. Pippen, Phil Jackson, and then pretty much after Pippen and after Rodman got there, they went on second three-peat, And so pretty much, but I think it just because if you look at the stats in the finals, Pippen all around did dominate in every category, whereas MJ was just a scorer, And granted, he made clutch shots, right? But he did defer a lot. To your point, Mai, like he deferred a lot to Paxson, deferred to Kerr, So we can't say MJ's like the clutch 3-point, like the god. He is god.
Too.
He played defense too. Yeah.
MJ didn't even guard Magic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they put Pippen on Magic. I remember that.
And it's just also like on top of that, like Kobe's always gonna guard the best player. Like even if it's freaking Giannis, like come on, dog. Like whoever the best guy out there, Kobe's like, I want him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like MJ, he doesn't do that. And it's come on, I don't even think it's close, to be honest, in my opinion. But
Lakers, Lake Show, baby.
And look at the Bulls too. Look at the Bulls the years when MJ took those times off. They still were a great team. You know what I mean?
55 plus wins the moment after MJ left the first time. 55 plus wins, and they almost made the conference finals.
Look at the Lakers when Kobe was hurt. You know what I mean? Or take LeBron away from any one of his teams.
And you'll see that's LeBron's case. It's like LeBron, after he leaves the team, that team goes to shit. Like the Cleveland first run, they won 19 games. Then he left Miami. I mean, Miami was still good because they had Wade and Bosch. So I mean, they still made the playoffs. No, they missed the playoffs. His first year outside of there. And then after that, he went to Cleveland. He wins them a ring, and then he leaves Cleveland. And Cleveland's also the worst record in the NBA. They're back in the shit. So, I mean, and I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm saying like even beforehand, even before LeBron gets there, they're not winning teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like before and after his resume is like, come on, dog.
100%. Oh, coach. Oh, Nate. Oh, what's up? What's up, coach? What's up, coach?
I never lost my train of thought there for a second. I was over here just like, give me a damn break. But oh no, that's what I was just thinking about. Like shit, LeBron's a damn J-cat because when he was in Cleveland, he was over there like working with the Lakers to free up cap space for the next year. Like that's kind of some weak ass shit to me. Like, I don't know why that came to my mind. I think just the whole, talking about, how you said he comes and when he leaves a team, they're worse and all that. Like that's bullshit in my opinion. Like, hey, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna pretend to be your guys' boy, but I'm over here fucking, getting guys traded and all that for my next fucking appearance in LA or whatever. So he's already fucked in my book. Like that already takes him out of the fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so with my boy Tiger Woods right now, he just got into a car accident. Well, he about to have another comeback after this.
I'm not sure his legs. I mean, we gotta see what's good with his legs. Can he walk?
Or is something else brewing? You know what I mean? In the pot that like last time.
We gotta get Coach Holmes' take real quick. I think I know how biased it is, but we can hear it anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
You on mute, Shawn?
Yeah, Shawn, you're on mute.
My take on the Kobe, MJ, LeBron.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man. Come on, coach.
I would say, I come from the MJ times, but I would say, at least GOAT in basketball, I would say MJ just takes the cake just because being undefeated in the shit, man, is like, that's a testament to his legacy. A lot of people make the shit, but like to be undefeated every time you play for all the marbles, that's like Mayweather being undefeated, like you never lose, and it's just like, like you lose during the regular season or whatever. But when it's, when everything's on, it's guaranteed. And, Celtics took out Kobe. LeBron's been taken out, so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be with MJ.
Is that a fair argument when I argue Montana over Brady?
I swear, I was thinking that in my head. I'm not even going to lie. But as much as I want to say Brady is the GOAT, man, that motherfucker cheats. Like, not now. But the whole Spygate thing, like, man, I'm a football coach. Yeah, it's one thing. Like, yeah, man, I know when you do this, you're going to run this play. But if I'm going to, like, literally film you at practice, like, doing hand signals and all that, that's, like, some next level weirdo shit. Like, if I ever seen that in person in my lifetime, you know what I'm saying? Like, a dude over here, like, trying to record me at practice, I probably would want to fight them. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, kind of like on some bro code type shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, are you really over here, like, fucking recording hand signals when you can just watch film and like pick up breeds type shit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, my question mark is why would you even need to do that if you're that good? You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, they are that good. The Patriots were and still are that good. Why? Like, what? You know what I mean? Then also, then if the what do you call it? The deflate gate. I mean, why do you have to like the ball is what is it too like big inflated? Like what? Like why do you have to deflate? Like was PSI that hard? I mean, this isn't that hard, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, it's a valid point. Like, I mean, I'd much rather lose than be labeled as a cheater. Mm-hmm. That's just me. You know what I mean? Because
I think we all know the answer to this fucking thing right here. Is like, I heard a lot of people talking about, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? I think I know who it was. The reason for the success right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't this guy? Was it? Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Probably was.
Probably was.
Right, it was Gronk.
Say what's up?
I said you're right. It was Gronk.
It was Gronk. Gronk looks kind of old though, man. He looks kind of old. Kind of skinny.
Hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I mean, I respect Brady as an athlete, but I mean, those things have to count. Because I mean, here's another thing, bro. It's like the Brady, it's the Moss Rice slash the LeBron Jordan slash the Brady Montana. It's two different eras. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could kill the QB during Montana and Young's. The 80s, 90s, you could kill the QB. 2000s, you could kind of, but then the game changed in 2006. You know what I mean? So basically,
Yeah.
Brady's career post '06 is almost a direct, I guess, a direct beneficiary of the rules changing, for the QBs.
And I think that's another great point about this GOAT discussion with Brady. Like, fuck, they literally not only did they make a tech rule for him, you can't hit the quarterback in the leg now.
It's just
Can't
so
breathe
fucking
on
weak,
him.
bro. Go ahead, sorry.
No. And that's what it is. That was probably gonna be my next thing. I was gonna say it's fucking weak. Like, we didn't have to do that for Montana to go 4-0. You know what I'm saying? And fucking throw a game-winning drive or whatever. Like, fuck Brady. Like, we fucking told people they couldn't play with two hands and shit to get you right. You know what I mean? Like,
Big facts. No, big facts. I mean, honestly, it's like, I mean, even if, I was talking to Lofa about this because, Lofa actually played in the Super Bowl. And like, the way that he learned how to tackle, and even for me when I play special teams, and I mean, coach, you play D-line. Like targeting is somewhat good, but not really, because like if you're, this, if you're going full speed, if you're leading with, even if you're leading with shoulder, you're about to wrap, right? You're leading with shoulder, you're about to wrap. You can't stop yourself midway to go below the waist. You know what I mean? You're gonna wrap, and if you lead with the shoulder, the helmet actually accidentally makes incidental contact with the chest. I mean, but people don't understand that. You know what I mean? Unless you were a gunner like me, or you're a D lineman, or you're a defensive player, you're not really gonna appreciate that. You're not really gonna really understand kind of why you can't just stop yourself. You know what I mean? And I think the rules changing were good, I guess, for the the concussions, right? Helmet to helmet should be outlawed. You shouldn't lead with your helmet. But some of the stuff is just kind of like you can't, like you're basically, it's not football. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, no, definitely I agree with you on that aspect. Like, man, fuck, like you kind of can't even really bang nobody these days. Like,
nah.
It's crazy, like nowadays, like you can't really even celebrate a big hit too much or things like that. So they really took it out of the game. But I mean, I think they didn't even really need to make it so bad, like, or punishable, when we really could just teach better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's that simple.
Yeah, how about you don't fucking lead with your head?
Is that hard, man? Like, Lofa basically like you leave your shoulder, you go up through the pec, through the clavicle, wrap, and try to use your momentum to bring the opposing player down. It ain't that hard, bro. Like, it ain't hard. Like, I mean, just coach correctly. Like, the fuck? I mean, come on now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess my last hot take that you know what I mean. I don't know if it's so hot, you know what I mean. It's not as relevant anymore. But my boy John Jones, you know what I'm saying. Shit, I've been seeing a lot of good fights and all that, but fuck, I don't know who the fighting goat is. You know what I'm saying? Just because my boy used steroids and he didn't even really need it, just like his brother Chandler. Oh, we can even talk about JJ Watt. Jeez.
Yeah.
How y'all feel about that? Niners. You're a Niner fan too, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, are you guys now in not in the driver's seat? Are you guys outside looking in now for the division? What's going on?
We always did well against JJ Watt when we played the Texans. So I'm not even worried. It's like,
yeah, JJ Watt at this point of his career, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how good he is because there's been a lot of injuries, and I'm actually a JJ Watt fan personally. Like my opinion, he's a top 5 all-time defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that the injuries, I don't know how he's gonna fit. And Cliff Kingsbury, his scheme is not a good scheme. It's not a scheme to win games in the NFL, in my opinion. We've seen 2 to 3 years of it now with Kyler Murray. It's not. I don't see it materializing into anything more than what we've seen. So that's my opinion. I mean, go ahead.
Kyler Murray's gonna have to take a lot of shots. Not when I say shots, I mean big hits. Kind of like you see it in the beginning, like they kind of relied on him to run around and kind of be in that spread 5 wide and make things like kind of open guys up like Russell Wilson. But he's out there really getting hurt. You know what I mean? And he was banged up at the end of the year, and like they lost that aspect of that offense because he couldn't even run around, and then he was getting jacked up by these big linemen. That's what I'm teaching guys to do, like not hurt you, to make you feel me.
Exactly. Make it feel love is possible, but make sure that you remember. You know what I mean? Like that's number one. No, I think that's an important point because I think Kyler Murray is also, his style of play is very dangerous. But I mean, Russell Wilson's style of play, Russell Wilson, people don't really know this, but Russell Wilson's style of play was that people thought he was a running QB to start. No, Russell Wilson was a pocket passer, but when the play broke down, he would then bootleg out, and he has tremendous speed. Kyler Murray, we've seen him do some pocket passing, but I have not seen him just kind of be a pure pocket passer to just start, sit there, settle, and let things go. To your point, Coach, because if you were, he'd be taking more hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another thing to consider. I mean, the Cardinals look good maybe on paper, but I mean, I don't know.
They did it Madden.
And Madden, right? Yeah, I mean the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, I mean, Lofa actually posted on his IG about the JJ Watt signing. He's like, "Oh man, fuck!" That's literally what he said. And he just posted a photo like JJ Watt, just like to scream like, "Ah," like that. And I mean, because JJ Watt's a beast. It's just I don't know what version of Watt we're gonna get. It depends on that. But I mean, JJ Watt and the defense can't will an entire franchise to a Super Bowl. I mean, they can maybe make the playoffs if he's at 100% and the whole defense is clicking and Kyler Murray's balling. You know what I mean? But I mean, I just don't like Cliff Kingsbury's scheme. I don't like it. I don't like it. It does, like I said, 5 wide. I mean, that's basically the spread. The spread doesn't work in the NFL. The spread doesn't work in the NFL. Like, I mean, tell me one. Like, Urban Meyer's going to go to Jacksonville. I don't know what kind of offense is going to run over there because Urban Meyer was the innovator of the spread offense at Utah. So Urban Meyer's going to go to Jacksonville. What kind of style is he going to bring that's going to work in the NFL? It might be exciting for one season, like what Chip Kelly, the Eagles did in 2013 when they made the playoffs. But is Urban Meyer, if he brings the spread, is that going to work for fucking Trevor Lawrence? No. Trevor Lawrence has been playing a pro style offense, and you're a pro personnel in a pro league. I mean, I don't know. I'm rambling now, but that's pretty much kind of what I look at and I observe.
I feel like he might even bust like a damn surprise move and like go with Justin Fields because like he loves those mobile quarterbacks. And the other thing too, I was thinking, shit, he might sign Alex Smith's ass. He just got released today, wasn't it, or this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't even see them reuniting over there in Jacksonville for a little bit. But I actually like Gardner Minshew. So you know what I mean. I think, yeah, I mean he has some swag to him, and he's pretty nice with it. But yeah, I think shit. Those are all my hot takes right for now, unless you got another brain teaser for me.
Let's think. What's we got? Oh, the Royal Rumble. What y'all think about Edge winning?
Actually, I like the Edge comeback. I think that shit. I would love to see him do his thing and get back to it. He looks great right now, by the way. Like holy shit, like. I don't want to say he's on the sauce, but you know what I mean? Like, man, whatever you're drinking at 40.
Just fucking say he's on the sauce, bro. They all on the sauce, man. If you're going to be wrestling, you got to be on the sauce, unless you're Roman. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Gotta be on the sauce.
I don't know how old Edge is, but man, he looks fucking great. And
he's 47.
Yeah, I think it's good to bring back like, he's old, but it's kind of fresh having him back, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
having a veteran come back and like kind of spice the game up. And I think it was cool that like him and kind of like that build up. Him and Roman both do the spear and all that kind of shit. So that's pretty cool too. Like I always thought growing up, of course, right? Like everybody had their favorite finisher, and like having another dude who does the same finisher as you have that beef to see who's really about that shit. You know what I mean? But ultimately, yeah, he won the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah.
I honestly hated it, man. I'm tired of like WWE putting over like the old guys still. Like, geez, man, like how's anybody ever gonna respect these cats? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, the one thing I could see like sticking would always have been Undertaker undefeated at WrestleMania. But at this point, like, come on, dog. Like, I love the Edge and Randy Orton feud. Like, I thought that was sick because they both can freaking cut a promo all day. It's like, come on, dog. Like, do we really think if Edge and Roman Reigns fought outside right now, Edge would beat up Roman Reigns? You know what I mean? Like, we got to keep it real. Like, I'm sick of these old guys getting put over, man.
I need to see Roman Reigns fight Edge for this belt. We need to bring back the Super Fight, the UFC Super Fight belt. We got to see it.
What's that thing called again where they did the boxing with Butterbean?
Oh,
Brawl for All.
Yeah, Brawl for All MMA status.
Yeah.
Hey, then Matt Riddle would win it all. The ultimate dude.
Yeah, Matt Riddle would win.
He's
Matt Riddle won the.
guy.
Yeah, he won something, right? What did he win?
He just won the. I want to say the U.S. title. Or
the U.S. title, right?
He took it off of Bobby Lashley. Was he the U.S. champ?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley was U.S. champ, and now Bobby Lashley feuding with Miz for the WWE championship. So.
How do you feel about Miz though?
I love it.
I guess people got tired of Drew, but I don't know. I kind of like Drew as champ. I mean, he wasn't too bad. You know what I mean?
Equally as bad as Roman Reigns, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Equally as bad.
equally as bad. Damn.
Like,
Yeah.
somebody needs a push, man. It's freaking the Swiss Superman.
Oh,
Cesaro
he
needs
says,
it,
oh
dude.
yeah, no, he's long overdue. He's
Yeah.
long
Like,
overdue. Go ahead.
he has the spin. He has the uppercut. Like he has the meanest club and rip in the game right now. Like,
I think he's won most underrated wrestler 3 years in a row by
yeah.
Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Yeah. So Dave Meltzer's publication.
They're gonna lose him to AEW. They keep up this BS.
Hey, Big Show. Big Show's already there.
Yeah. So
I wonder why he made that move. I was thinking about it, like he's got like the lifetime pass at WWE. Was it like more lucrative at this point in his life, or like what? Like seeing that shit, like, oh, White, you're going back to Paul White. Can't even be the Big Show no more. Damn. Check must be lovely though.
Yeah, man. Good.
And don't they get a lot more creative? You know what I mean? Like,
AEW, they get more creative.
mhm.
But like even when Jinder Mahal had his push, like Triple H could have put him over in India. And who do you think won? Like, come on, Triple H, dog. Like,
Triple H. I mean, I hate Triple H because after the whole Booker T burial at WrestleMania 19, I never forgave Triple H. I know Shawn when he saw me and Nate talk about it on IG, Shawn basically reposted with a little Triple H thing, like that. Because I mean, Shawn, are you a Triple H fan? Can you answer that?
Oh, I'm a Hunter Hearst Helmsley fan.
Yes,
when he
you
was with the
are.
Blue Bloods.
No. Oh, good.
Not
Blue
when he was
Bloods.
Triple H. I was a Hunter Hearst Helmsley fan
Yeah.
before Triple H.
Yeah, I think Triple H was like obviously like I loved in 1999 when he became the game. I loved kind of the materialization of that in 2000. I loved it when he came back 2002. I mean, it was so raw, man. But then I feel like we talked about last time, Nate, like fucking when after in late 2002 when they gave him the World Heavyweight title belt and they had the Reign of Terror. That was like the worst period of Raw I've ever watched. I mean, it's like
yeah, it's
like you
terrible.
had so many guys with drawing power who basically got buried, like just burial after burial. And like the guys you put over barely. I mean, the only guy who really got any tick was maybe Chris Benoit during that time. But like Goldberg's run was fucking trash. I mean, like Randy Orton only had it belt for like a month and he gives it right back.
I was gonna say,
I mean,
Randy Orton dirty.
Yeah, Randy Orton and Randy Orton was also buried in 2007. Remember at No Mercy, and then at WrestleMania 25 until 2009, I was rooting for Randy to win that because I thought that was gonna be Randy's crowning moment. Okay, Randy's gonna take over as the top heel of Raw. You know what I mean? He's already taking out all the McMahons, and now Triple H is gonna put him over. Triple H basically buries him, and then he wins that Backlash, and it's like a weak ass win where he has to have Legacy kind of interfere on his. I mean, what is this shit, G? Like, I mean, are the fans? Do they think the fans are that stupid? Like, come on now.
Bro, they wouldn't even put The Rock over Triple H. Like, that's how like fixed in Triple H is. Like,
Yeah.
I think his character is sick, but man,
Too much company love.
yeah,
He's a daddy's boy.
yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
shovel. The golden shovel, man. The golden
It's
shovel.
ridiculous. That's why when people try to argue him as a GOAT, I'm like, never will he ever.
Never will he ever. Nah, bro. It's funny. I actually go, Nate. Go.
I was gonna say when we had our top 10 matches debate, I for you, I think you might have had one, but I don't think I had him on my list. I had him like on some honorable mention shit, but
No, I
like
didn't. No, I did have him actually. WrestleMania 20. The rest of the triple threat with Chris Benoit.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I did have him. Wait, why did I have him? My bad. Well, because Chris Benoit. That's why.
Mhm.
Chris Benoit. I mean, I'm still a huge Chris Benoit fan. So, but yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, what do you call? What was I gonna say? Oh, Lord Adrian, dude. Hey, coach, I've been watching Lord Adrian on IG. Dude, he's crazy. He's funny as hell though. Like,
and honestly, that's the kind of energy that we're trying to bring to the football game. Like, man, just be your raw ass self. And
Yeah.
like, when Triple H became the game, being his raw ass self, like, man, I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. Like, while you were saying it, it was like, that's the energy right there. That's the vibes. And I think my boy Toa Leona said it too. Like, when you were asking, like, oh, what's your character or what do you see it as? He's like, I'm gonna just let it, kind of unleash itself type deal. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna go out there and bring the energy that I feel and like, let it go from there. That's how fucking Lord Adrian is. Like, he got the fucking colored dreads. He's like just some regular, some guy that fucking loves wrestling. He's unorthodox, and that's exactly what he is in the ring too. passionate ass dude. You could tell he grew up watching wrestling. That's how me and my brother are. Like Lord Adrian and his brother. Like I ain't never been to an official knock pro class. I tell you, I can super kick a motherfucker for sure. Like, and I, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I can, land if you body slam me without getting hurt, all that shit. Like I watched enough, you know what I'm saying? And that's the vibe I get from Lord Adrian. Like that motherfucker's over there, like wrestling, like, doing nice moves and like probably not hurting anybody because he does it right. He got his girlfriend in there taking the super kick or like, I mean, getting fucking backflipped up through the table or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the what do you call it? The what do you call it? The 720s that he does. I never understood how the fuck he does that. Like he grabs the dude and then he does the 720, and I'm all like, how? Like how? Like you know what I mean? I'm just watching this.
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Like that crazy, like I don't even know how to explain that move.
Ask him, he's gonna be like secret of the pros.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got an update on my phone too. Bobby Lashley's the champ now.
Yeah, I just seen that
Speak
right
of the
now.
devil. He just beat
He's
the
a
Miz.
WWE champion.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's his first ever WWE title reign ever.
Exactly. About time though. Like someone.
Wow, yeah.
Push.
No, I mean I also want Shawn Benjamin to get the belt, but they're never gonna let him have him. But Bobby Lashley, I'm happy for him.
Jonathan Benjamin was the shit back in. Remember when him and
Team Angle.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
my
sir.
God.
Team Angle was legit.
Yeah, Maya, you might not know this, but Kurt Angle, I actually got to meet him, and I got his autograph, and he was on the show. So basically, so Kurt Angle is like is my favorite wrestler of all time. And so obviously, meeting him, it was like 7.5 minutes, but it was like good like Q&A session. So, but I mean, he's very humble, but I challenged him on something. I'm like, yo, I think you are the greatest, and he's all like, I can't take it. I'm like, why the? I was like, why can't you take it? You're the good. Like, I mean, like out of every category, Kurt Angle's the only wrestler you'll say is a 10 out of 10. In ring, on the mic, technical, submission, what do you call it? Brawling, chain wrestling, you name it. He can do it all. You know what I mean?
Savage.
And
Savage.
won a gold medal with a broken freaking
And
neck.
we on, baby. We on, baby. And shit. Man. Yeah, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was that dude. Like Team Angle was raw as hell. Like I remember that was my favorite. That year was my favorite year of like the so when Raw was on, I'd watch it, but I mean SmackDown was the show. SmackDown was the show during the Aggression era because you had Team Angle, you had Lesnar, then you had Cena, you had Guerrero, you had Rey Mysterio, you had a bunch. You know what I mean?
Bro, tell me Team Angle didn't have the sickest jumpsuits too when they would come out. Like the sweatsuits, those were fire. They were ahead of the time with that one.
Man. And Paul Heyman just made it better. Like Paul Heyman, I mean, it was genius what they did because after Brock beat Rock, then they had Paul Heyman kind of help Big Show get over on Lesnar, and then Lesnar helped Team Angle basically get over on Big Show, and then basically Kurt Angle basically reveals Paul Heyman as his manager, and then Paul Heyman turns on Brock, and then Team Angle gets introduced. I mean, I think the creative was just so much better back then. I think there's something lacking from our creative now, where I don't see the kind of the shocking storylines. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I listened to the I think it's the Good Old JR podcast, and they talk about Vince Russo, and or even like some of the Eric Bischoff show. I think that's what it was because
83 weeks.
JR and them hate fucking Russo, but the Eric Bischoff show, he was just saying how like one thing that they did that was different from WWE is they kind of try to make it a little bit more realistic by letting guys use their real names and their own actual personas and stuff like that. And I think that's what AEW is doing a good job of now and shit. Like when you're in WWE, you're like full-time character. You're like you're in the fucking circus. Like, hey, this is the guy with the beard and shit. But in AEW, they're just kind of like, hey man, be yourself, talk shit about your real life or whatever the fuck is going on. And and I even think there was a small part of that in the the aggression era and the attitude era, but we're just missing all of that now. We kind of like went the kiddie route. Like this is for like the kids all over.
100%. No, and I think actually to your point, I think I prefer the ruthless aggression era in that aspect because there were no gimmicks, like literally no gimmicks. Everyone had to use a real name. Everyone had to come out and be themselves. It was legitimately like real. You have better athletes than the ruthless aggression. Ruthless aggression had the best athletes WWE's ever seen. I mean, you're talking about Shawn Benjamin, Brock Lesnar. You had Kurt Angle. You had the guys who are no longer with us: Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. You had Shawn Michaels. I mean, God, I can just go on. You, John. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, I don't, and like the guys, and like to Maya's point, the reason why the older guys are still getting pushed over is because we haven't seen athletes and personalities from since it was the discretion era who have really stood out to us and be like, all right, this is the guy. Like Seth Rollins, for example, great athlete, but we don't know who he is yet. Monday Night Messiah kind of got over, not really. And then like he's a phase, and it's like, what is he? Like he's just an exciting entertainer. I don't know what his gimmick is. AJ Styles.
Too. Shit.
That's one of my favorites right now.
Same. I like, out of the new guys, he's one of the best, I think. I like Dean Ambrose too. Fuck.
They just give up on the storylines way too soon in this like era of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like they don't develop the characters enough anymore. So it's just like you can't really hate anybody anymore. Like one week like he's like some D-bag, and the next week like he's helping this other guy out, and it's like there's not enough character development, man. So it's just like, but look how they did Kofi Kingston. It's just like he's like,
yeah, man, that's a good point. Kofi's whole thing was like, what the hell was that? Like, I mean, they let him in the elimination chamber, and then I don't even know why he was in it, and they have him get squashed. It's like, I don't know. And also kind of, but I mean, that's why I guess that's why I like Roman, because it's like I don't like Roman as a wrestler. I just like the fact that they stuck with a heel. But Vince loves Roman, and that's why we're all sick of it, because we've seen too much of Roman, right? And he's not that good to be where he's at, you know. So I mean, but I love the fact that they've stuck with a heel to I fucking hate. I look at him on TV. I'm like, this is Triple H part 2. I hate this guy.
Exactly.
For sure.
What's that? I mean, that one guy's name, the up and coming guy. He has like a fucking like initials.
Kevin Owens is legit.
No, not Kevin Owens. I think the guy I'm talking about he's either in NXT or AEW. Fuck.
I don't know about
Damien Priest.
No. He's a white guy, young white guy. Like MCD or some shit like that. Fuck, I forget his.
He sounds like an AEW dude.
Yeah, I forget his name, but dude is supposed to be the real deal. I've seen a little bit of him. He's nice with it.
Even touched on that, like with the AEW, like see how Chris Jericho reinvented himself? Like that was sick. Like the champion likes to celebrate with a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, a little bit of bubbly.
Yeah. And then he started selling bottles of the bubbly. Like,
yeah.
So it's like, man, like wrestling, WWE lost that part of it. Like,
I just think Vince is making too much money now to where he's not. There's no. What's the word? There's nothing really. There's no fear factor for him. There's nothing sticking his feet to the fire. Like even after WCW, when it went downhill and ACW, the invasion storyline was, even though it went over the fans, it was panned. So Vince had motivation to keep to salvage that. So for the next 5 years, we got to see some of the best wrestling we've ever seen. Like we got to see the WCW guys come back, like Kevin Nash, Booker. I mean, Booker was one good example. Then you also had Chris Benoit get over, Eddie Guerrero got over. It's like, and then also you also had a bunch of other guys get over during that time. But Vince was always motivated, and he kind of knew how to write things a little bit. I don't know. I think Vince has just lost touch, and I think we need to. I don't know if NXT is a good show, right? But I think AEW is still better because WWE as a whole is kind of very gimmicky and very it's very generic. It's not a show where I'm gonna watch it. Like you said, I can't hate these guys anymore. There's not enough development.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I think also to your point, I think what Vince lost is kind of what I feel like a lot of coaches lost is that hunger and that drive. After you get to a certain point, you're kind of losing it, because isn't the company up for sale right now as well, to any interested buyers?
Yeah, but the way it works is that the McMahons still own the majority. So I mean.
Oh, okay. I thought he was selling the majority.
Yeah, no, he's making way too much money because of the Saudi Arabia deal. He's making way too much money, dude. Because think about it, it's like those fans in those countries, which is pretty much close to where I'm from, and even where we're all from, now WWE is we can all watch it if we're in Samoa, if we're in Tonga, if we're in Pakistan, if we're wherever across the world, we could just turn on our phone and watch WWE. Anyone can do it. You couldn't do that back in the 90s or 2000s. You could not, and that's pretty much why. Yeah, I don't know. It's too I don't know. It's watered down. Like so, watered. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying let's say you open the can of worms, man. You can be pissed off all day about this. Like, I'm still mad that AJ Styles doesn't get the push he deserves. He's easily the best wrestler right now. Like, and like as much as like Vince tries to bury him, like the people love him. Like,
Yeah, I mean AJ Styles. I mean, why is Roman or Miz or even Lashley a champion? Why isn't AJ feuding with Hardy for the belt? You know, why isn't why? I mean, there's better wrestlers. Why isn't Randy feuding? Not even Randy. Why isn't who's the other guy? I mean, if they want to make Edge, make him feud with someone like Drew or I don't know. I mean, there's so many other guys like oh Cesaro. Make Cesaro feud with Edge. Make Cesaro feud with like any I don't know, dude. Like Shawn Benjamin versus Cesaro. Imagine that. Two of the most underrated wrestlers of all time. Good.
Bring back like the Money in the Bank though. Shawn Benjamin, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, freaking John Morrison, all of them in there. And like, imagine how Ricochet's another beast that's is like getting hated on.
A freak,
bro. Like
freak. Yeah.
Crazy fucking Money in the Bank.
That dude sells like no other, man. Like,
and the shit he can do. Yeah. Like I mean, when he was NXT and then he did the 360 over the top rope on doing the table. He'd never done it before. That was the first. He improvises. And the best wrestlers. And I talked to Rodney Mack about this last week. The best wrestlers, and Rodney Mack said this, and I agree, are the ones who don't need to choreograph anything. They're the ones who can improv on the fly. You know. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think, and that's one thing that we loved, like about you know, like we grew up in like that Attitude Era, like watching The Rock and Austin, and even like, you know, Kurt Angle kind of came in towards the end and, you know, ushered in the next era. But like guys like that, we all loved them because, you know, like they were selling and you can see it in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they didn't even really have to try that hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you slapped Kurt Angle, he's rolling around. He's on the ground. You chasing him around the ring, you know, all that shit. And like, you know, you got to kind of be able to do that. And like, that's what Shamrock said, you know, from the that I heard of your guys' episode was like, and like the guys kind of trusted him to be himself and like kind of sell some shit, you know what I mean? And he's so like, I'm that fucking crazy fighter because I think it was Vader, if I remember correctly, like one of his first, he came out and like beat Vader's ass and then like did the ankle lock. Like I remember he might have been even wearing a suit or some shit. And I just remember like thinking like, oh, can Shamrock beat Vader's ass? Like Vader's a savage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Vader wasn't my favorite wrestler growing up, but I grew up like Vader time, like motherfucker, I'll backflip on your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, but yeah.
Vader was 456 pounds. Ken Shamrock, he had 210 pounds on Ken Shamrock easily, right? So Ken Shamrock coming out there and beating his ass and do the ankle lock and screaming and like, and I mean, it's just Ken, and I think to your point, it's you can see in the face, like Ken Shamrock when he looks like he wants to kill the dude. When Kurt Angle's doing the ankle lock, he looks like he wants to break a dude's ankle. When The Rock is selling a rock bomb or he's like saying someone, it looks like he wants to he wants to whoop your candy ass, right? When Stone Steve Austin is rolling to the punches, it looks like Austin 316 is about to unleash can whoop ass on your ass, right? Yeah. I mean, it's just not the same. I don't know. It's just not. I don't know. We just can't get that, you know.
And like that's the main thing. Like watching wrestling back in the day, like every time I think of Ken Shamrock, aside from the ankle lock, it'd be like when they'd be like, oh, he's gonna snap, and like Shamrock's like punching his head and shit. Like,
yeah.
It's like, man.
It's funny still watching Impact to see Shamrock. I was telling him I actually watched some of his Impact stuff, and he's still in shape. Like, I mean, even though he's old, he's still in great shape for his age. And you know, I love watching him still go. Like, you know.
About a funny ass memory of Shamrock. You guys remember when fuck was her name? You know, Debbie and I forgot what the other chick was. You know what I'm saying? Like they had all the WWE divas when it was like all out in like the puppies era and all that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking they were telling like Shamrock, I think it was Pat Patterson and you know the other dude. They're having them drink this weird cocktail talk type shit. Like the only thing that could distract you is these females because you're so fucking locked in and you're a psycho. You got to drink this shit so they can't get you on the side of the ring. And I remember him like drinking some weird ass shit. So like, you know, the females wasn't getting to his head. I just look back like the fucking WWE was nuts. Like that shit is lost.
Yeah, that shit is lost. Because I mean, like you said, it's like a kid show now. They can't do any of that shit anymore. In the PC era, you can't have DX tell chicks to flash their tits. You can't have like, you know, dudes just like, you know, come out with like beer bashes or milk trucks and top of puppies and like, you know, flash the crowds and stuff, which I mean I enjoyed watching when I was a kid. So.
Trying to cut a promo today.
It switches on bitches.
Yeah. The big bad booty daddy.
The big bad. Holla if you hear me. I was trying to get Scott Steiner on the show. He never responded to me. I'm so sad. But I mean, whatever. Scott Steiner's, fuck him.
Hey, Scott Steiner, we're working on that shit. No.
Yeah, Scott. But you're right though. The big bad booty daddy. Like you can't even. You probably couldn't say that now. Like I mean, people will get so offended. Like I'm sure Scott Steiner even coming out of WWE, people get offended because he looks like he's on roids. Like because now we're in an era where it's like the roids and wrestling. Like we have to completely put that away. I think after Chris Benoit's death, that's when things started going downhill because people wanted to see a more family friendly. They had to clean up their image. They had to get rid of these tough guys. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think after Chris Benoit's death, that's when I started things started trending downhill. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Randy Orton was a champion immediately after that. So I mean, Randy Orton. I mean, the best version, in my opinion, was actually in 04. Even though he had the belt for such a little time, but I mean, at 07, he basically got off the roids after Chris Benoit's death, and then it's like I don't know. I just feel like they never his character. I feel like could have been so much bigger. Like he could have been in the category of Austin or Rock, or even if not there, maybe Angle or maybe Guerrero, just guys who can work. And he's already won a bunch of belts, but I don't feel like I can view him as one of the greatest of all time, because when we're talking about greatest of all time, I think of our era. I think of Austin, Rock, Angle, Benoit, Guerrero, Mick Foley, Taker, all these guys.
We don't talk about Mick Foley enough. He was in a lot of the matches that I thought about when in my lifetime. Shit, I remember when me and Shawn and my brother, we used to go to matches back in the day, Raw, Royal Rumble, when Mick Foley used to do or when Mankind used to do the fucking Mandible Claw. I used to be up I was in the fucking 50th, 100 rows fucking away, 100 yards away, tripping out holy fuck, that's scary. This shit is fucking real right now. A motherfucker's throwing up out there.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You believe it's real because it looks real.
Yeah.
And because wrestling back then blurred the lines between reality and fiction. Now it's all fiction. I don't believe any of this shit's real. I know you wrote this. You didn't even write this. It's lazy writing. I don't know what you're just putting these guys out there and you're saying just go do something. You know what I mean? There's no direction.
Yeah. And when I look at Jake the Snake, you know what I'm saying? Back when I was growing up, I can't imagine Jake the Snake on IG, chilling by the pool and hitting the spot later, see you later in person. Jake the Snake was probably fucking doing H at the telly, fucking getting wasted and fucking prostitutes and shit. And it loses its swag. You know what I'm saying? Do we want our athletes doing that? Probably not. But we do want you to be a real, everybody's a kind of an independent, seller, I guess, out there. You're your independent show. And right now, there's not enough traveling shows at WWE. There's just everybody's from same fucking place and it's the same bullshit. Nobody's their own stuff.
It's a big fact, you know what I mean? It's big facts. I think social media is basically broken out. It's hard for me you can't buy into it anymore, right? Because I mean, because social media, it gives us too much of the wrestler's side, and for us to kind of buy into it. Back in our era, we didn't have social media, right? So we just basically had to take whatever's on TV, and if the wrestler does an interview or a shoot outside of normal programming, then you get another side of that wrestler, But outside of that, I mean, social media has kind of ruined it. It's watered it down because it's well, we get everything. We get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And a lot of it's just I just look at these chicks now, these divas, and it's just literally just fitness models, on the beach, showing tits and ass, and look at how sexy we are. And it's just I feel in the Ruthless Discretion era, Attitude era, it was the divas could actually work, and they couldn't, and they weren't just that. They were, but they were also more. There's more personalities. More, I guess, a more diverse base of personalities.
A lot of these guys are the same though too. Hey, I'm a freak athlete, acrobat guy. Put me on. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah. That's how I feel. Kofi Kingston's a good wrestler and shit, but to me, he's intercontinental champ material. You know what I mean? They had that dude in the mix at the top and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I love him, but he's a company guy. Let's get some fucking real dudes out here. We need that fucking gangster street performer. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit.
Shawn Benjamin's been there. Kofi Kingston got the belt for Shawn Benjamin did. Can you guys actually think about that for a second? Shawn Benjamin in the company for how long? and he hasn't had a world title like once. I don't get it. Anyways, but Shawn, because I feel Shawn Benjamin would probably make more sense as like a personality. Like he has so many different. I mean, if y'all remember Team Angle or the World Greatest Tag Team, like they're doing like APA promo back at SmackDown, and Shawn Benjamin like was like wearing like the Bradshaw wig. Shaw's doing like is doing like the Farouk impersonations. He's like Shawn Benjamin's like is like, hey Ron, you know that I got engaged, and then Shaw's like, damn, and it's just like you're watching, I'm cracking up. And then Shawn Benjamin's dancing to the little hoedown and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. But they don't do that no more. It's not even funny anymore. It's just like it's too like I feel like it's too much of like okay, it's like they have to like do like this full like opera of like shit. And it's like I can't even laugh at it. It's like, you know, cheap laughs. I miss those. So. Yeah, Charlie Haas. Yeah, I mean, damn. But yeah, man. Wrestling's great though. Still love it. But it's funny. I mean, UFC night is pretty cool too. You know, the fact that this was the first ever belt UFC ever had, and the guy I was on the podcast actually held the belt, and he's the first UFC Hall of Famer.
You want to know something funny? Speaking of UFC, I actually met Khabib before he became Khabib. But
Did you really?
He was with Luke Rockhold at the time.
Really?
And like the guy I knew was Luke Rockhold. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Luke, man, let's take a picture, this and that. And like, you know, Khabib like kind of like grabbed me, like, oh man, you want to meet this guy, this and that. And then Khabib was the one who took the picture. Yeah, it was when I was working at Moe's in downtown Campbell.
That's funny as hell, bro.
Yeah,
because
I think about it, I'm like, damn, I took a picture with the wrong guy.
I got to meet Josh Koscheck outside of when I was conditioned for the 2010 AFL Combine. So this guy right here, right? I got to meet Josh Koscheck at the neighboring gym. I got a photo with him. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I mean, basically, then Cain Velasquez was down the street. But
Yeah.
Whatever. Cain Velasquez.
I met a Daniel Cormier too. That dude's super quiet in person. Like,
he looks like it though.
Yeah,
I feel like,
I mean, like when he talks to people, like, you know what I mean? Like you think that's the guy you're gonna get in person, but he's
I mean,
promos all day.
Right, but see that's the point because what I meant with that I was like if you meet Frank Shamrock is not a dick at all. Josh Koscheck isn't a dick in person at all. But like if you watch him on UFC Live, you watch him on Primetime, it's like, okay, wait, that's who you are. But it's a character.
Yeah,
like
sure.
UFC is the same model as WWE. Like they have characters that play out and they have storylines. You know what I mean? Like Conor McGregor is a perfect example. Conor McGregor brought the WWE to UFC. You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Same with all these guys, you know what I mean? And like, I think that's why, like, you know, I like John Jones, like, and like I'm pissed that he did steroids, but like I think that brings even more attention to the shit. Like you fucking hate him and you want somebody to beat his ass, but then he comes out and just fucks people up, and you're like, he's kind of like the GOAT. He's supposed to be the GOAT. Like,
well, in my opinion, the GOAT is who Maya didn't take the photo with.
Khabib time.
Yeah, Khabib. Yeah, in my opinion, Khabib's the GOAT because undefeated, never used, never got suspended for anything. Like, I mean, what else is there? I mean,
beat up Bears.
Just a straight up gangster, man.
Yeah, straight up gangsters, you know. And
Send
I mean, me
location.
too. Send me location, right? Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, me too being Muslim, it's good seeing a Muslim do great things. You know, who's like my size, 5'10", 155. You know, well, I'm like 185 now, so I mean, Khabib's like smaller than me, but he can still kick.
I think he walks around 185.
Yeah, he walks around 185. Yeah, so I mean, he is literally my size, and he's probably solid muscle, so I don't want to try anything. But anyways, I'm just like, you know, Khabib is great. I mean, for anyone who's a fan, you know what I mean? But I think also because he doesn't have like kind of to Nate's point, he doesn't have like the John Jones personality where it's like he's quiet and he's just about his business. Whereas John Jones, there's like gonna be like you said, there's like a build up, like okay, like fuck this guy, but he'll talk and he'll smile and he'll like do that at the weigh-ins and he'll win. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Honestly, that's why I became a fan of Kobe Covington. Like he's kind of the meanest promo all day right now. Like he even comes out to Kurt Angle's theme song. You know what I mean?
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you? No, fuck that. Fuck that, Brad. No, Kobe, because Kobe hasn't. What is he won that's meaningful? He hasn't. I don't think he's ever held a belt, has he?
He was the interim before.
Oh, he won the interim champion.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did have a belt. Then Kamaru Usman whooped that ass.
Yeah.
Man, I fucking like Usman, but to me, he's like Rashad. Like, I fucking hate point fighters. Like, hey, I'm gonna play defense all fight and fucking like punch you up and like toe stomp you and all this shit. Like that's weak as fuck. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
like
It's so boring. It's so
Yeah.
fucking boring. It's a cheap way to win. Like I'm not.
yeah. It's not cheap, you know what I mean? Like it's part of the game. That's how Mayweather fights. But like, fuck, man, beat somebody's ass, bro. Like,
I mean, come on, no, man. We're all fans though. We want to be entertained. You know what I mean?
Like even like Khabib wrestles, but like he beats the hell out of you when he's wrestling you.
That's
you know
my
what I mean?
point, bro. Like Khabib fucking kills you, and he kills you. Like Conor, that was oh man, he mauls. That's what they call him, the mauler. The Conor fight, I do. The UFC 220 was 229, right? Yeah, that was that fight is, in my opinion, the best fight I've ever seen. I don't know why. I can't get it out of my head. Like the whole, because you then not only did Khabib choke dude out, he jumped over the cage to attack his corner man, and then he kept going in the crowd. Like that's wrestling. Like that's what we're missing from wrestling. That the actual reality. Go ahead. Yeah.
I know. I'm saying for sure. Like, I'm just agreeing with you, man.
Yeah.
Like, you ever watch the mic'd up version of that fight?
Oh my God, no. Well, how was that?
Let's talk now. Talk now. And then he's like calling Dana, like, "Hey Dana, this is your chicken, right?" This is crazy, man.
It's crazy, man.
And then like it's Conor, like Conor's trying to make peace, like, "Hey, it's all business, he's and like Khabib was just like, "Yeah, I guess so." Like, man, you can't joke about this guy's religion. That ain't business, bro. Like,
big facts, bro. I mean, like, I mean, this whole country, like, when I was a kid, never till now, even WWE, I mean, like Muhammad Hassan character, I mean, it's always been the religion's always been ridiculed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, though, I mean, like, I feel like Khabib kind of just he basically broke the barrier. Like now, you guys have to accept that, yo, man, there's a dude who is Muslim who will beat the shit out of you. Yeah, like he'll beat the fucking shit. Anytime you try him, he will beat you to a pulp. Like, and you better respect it. You better, otherwise, So, me. I mean, I have fans, but at a much smaller scale. Like Khabib is just like an international superstar in that regard. You know what I mean? I mean, it sucks you didn't get a photo, man. I would be like, damn, I'm jealous of you. Fuck, goddamn. That's all right.
I'm showing the picture of Rocco. That was before he was chinny.
Really?
Yeah, that was when he actually beat Michael Bisping and all that. Not before, or not after. My bad. But,
man, good shit,
it is
man.
what it is, man. I will say that when I did meet DC, it was after he got knocked out by John Jones in Anaheim. He was flying to Hawaii out of San Jose, and I was just like, "Don't worry, John Jones is gonna find a way to blow it, dog." And then by the time he landed in Hawaii, that's when it came out that that Jones popped for steroids. Yeah, and like I was just laughing.
Hey, picograms don't count, man.
Yeah, steroids. Was it cocaine? And I think marijuana.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly. No, the issue though was Eddie Guerrero. He actually was on all those things. That's why Eddie Guerrero died. Because like my dad's a cardiologist, and he basically said when he died, I'm like, and then he's like, oh, it's like, you guys hear about the rest? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, myocardial infarction. He's like, yeah, his heart was 10 times the size it's supposed to be. That means he was on roids and cocaine. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
No. Sometimes I get heartburn because I be eating pizza and shit since I've been retired, but I mean that's the extent of it. No, I'm just playing. No, but for real though, I mean, like, it's just crazy because I'm just saying, man. It's just like, I don't know, bro. It's just like, I mean, when you're a pro athlete at that level, it's just like, fuck, man. And like, I mean, I actually knew guys, at JUCO who took roids, Yeah, right?
Yeah. Honestly, man, like shit, there's a lot of great players that do roids and shit, but I think a lot of them don't necessarily need it. Some people, it does them service, but I've also known, we all know a couple guys that did roids and got so swole that, they blew out their fucking knees or like, torn ligaments type shit because, their body wasn't, adjusting well to like just that crazy overnight strength or that overnight growth. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I think there's safe ways to do it, and of course, and guys that can get away with it, but there's pros and cons, and so you can either be like The Rock or you can be like some of these other guys who are getting fucked. You know what I mean? Like, shit, The Rock is over here training for that Black Adam movie, and he just looks like a fucking muscle. Like I didn't know his face could get more chiseled again, but he's like fucking like every year he grows older, he just looks better.
So are we? So are we saying The Rock is or he's not?
He's definitely on the juice.
Yeah, he's got to be. Yeah, like I mean, come on now, bro. I'm just like I'm looking at him and like his arms are like 3 times the size they were when he was WWE, and like his face and his body and the musculature, it's not natural. Like and I'm just like, bro, like these guys are just on the juice. Like oof. Like and JJ Watt also JJ Watt's another one who's on the juice. Like if you guys,
Oh,
if
what?
yeah,
For
yeah,
sure. Did we ever talk about that before? Is that why you
No.
brought that up?
No.
I always fucking felt that way. I'm glad you said that.
And I feel like, you know what? I feel like to get to the league, like you have to take something to get there, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I mean, like there's no way you can be that naturally gifted unless you are. And it's a very small few. But I think everyone's like to get at that level now, right? You have to be on something, which is why I take more pride in my career playing at the minor AFL leagues versus like playing at the NFL, be on some shit. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like, I mean, PEDs. Fuck, I don't really, I think they're invented for a reason, and I think for more rehabilitation purposes or certain things like that. But like, from a I guess like the competition aspect, like fuck, man, there's kind of no place for it in my book, just because like shit, it should be an even playing field. We all train hard. Like, why do you need that extra go? Like, why don't we just wake up in the morning, whoop ass, and then like see who's really about that shit? You know what I'm saying?
Big
And,
facts.
and like I've said it before, like about John Jones, like some people don't really need that shit. Like, you think Barry fucking his eye coordination got better from getting fucking jacked? You know what I mean? Nah, he probably got more power. He cranked some balls, but he was already a Golden Gloves guy. He already had a high on base percentage, like all those type of deals. Like, why the fuck did you need to do that? Like now you're just discredited.
Is that I mean, it's facts, bro. I mean, because I mean, you have to have natural ability in order to be a great athlete, and if you need the roids, then you kind of are cheating yourself. Like example would be Tom Brady. Tom Brady's actually on something. I think he's on something in my opinion because you can't be able to do it. You know what I mean? But Tom Brady basically, I mean, he's not on roids for sure because it's like you look at him, he looks like me. He's even skinnier and lean. He looks like trash actually. Like when you talk about like build, so it's like Tom Brady. Like maybe he's on HGH or something like that, but outside of that, I mean, like the PEDs. I mean, you can tell. Like I mean, like some people don't need it. Like I don't even think he need. Maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe I'm just assuming he is. You know what I mean? Because he's been doing it for so long. But I just don't think it's natural to be doing it for that long. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
You know who I think definitely did it is Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, fuck yeah, Peyton Manning did. Yeah, of course. To come back from that neck surgery, no, dude. Two cervical vertebrae fused like in your neck. No, dude, you're not coming back from that and like be an MVP.
Yeah.
55
shit. Coach Holmes did a cycle too back in the day.
He did, right? Coach Holmes, you did a cycle?
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No way.
Coach Holmes, all
Closest I got
natural.
was some creatine.
Creatine,
All
man.
natural, fully organic.
Yes, sir.
And, I was always too scared to touch that stuff, man. Like, like I was just, like I come from just that, that hard work time. And then, even when I got at Anza, when, messing with Coach Buck, like, he was a firm believer in the iron sharpens iron, so, that's what I come from. And, like I said, I was always too scared. But when we were playing at Anza, that was the first time, like I was introduced into like, people taking steroids. Because I don't believe any kids at my high school took any. But when I got into the JUCO level, that's when I started seeing the steroids on the scene. But my first like impression of the steroids every time I think about steroids is I don't know if you ever watched the movie The Program. They had it's like an old school football movie, and one of the D tackles is this big crazy white dude and stuff, and he's getting like ran over in practice and stuff, and so he does a cycle. And then next thing you know, he looks like fucking, like a Greek goddess out there, just, stuffing guys on 4th and inches, all that crazy stuff. But I think in that movie, he ended up like wigging out and then pretty much like hitting a girl or something at a party, ended up like getting in trouble, but like that was like the bad part of it. You know, so like I was always just like, you know, like just like scared, you know, like I kind of grew up during that dare era, you know, like drugs are bad, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, you know, that's part of like the steroids and stuff too, you know, all that stuff's all looped in with that, you know. So just like, you know, naturally mind that kind of stuff was like that.
Big facts, you know. I just thought I don't want anything that fucks my hormone levels, my hormone levels, because I don't know what that's gonna do. Like my hormone levels, like what? Like I don't. Like I didn't know what that meant. Like what does that mean? Like it's like dudes like, oh yeah, I know, man. Like pro hormones. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna do that. I'll be fine if I can make it past JUCO. Even if I can't make it past JUCO, I'll be okay knowing that I didn't have to take anything, you know. But like besides protein, right, or whey or like creatine, whatever the fuck, right. But like I mean, like pro hormones and like beta blockers and like I'm
Some
just like
estrogen blockers,
right? Like all that shit. It's just crazy. Like I'm like, damn, but it helps and it works a lot. You know, I mean, if you manage it and like you stick to your routine, but I mean, I would never know. So, anyways.
Oh man.
Good shit, y'all, man. What else, man? We got, I don't know. We just been talking for 2.5 hours. Oh, it's good shit. See, time flies when you have fun.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. For me, shit, that's kind of much. If for me, I'm over here thinking about pizza right now. You said pizza earlier, now I'm over here like, fuck.
I got mine in the fridge. I literally ate one today, and I just felt so proud of myself. And I had some tiramisu for breakfast.
Tiramisu for breakfast,
bro. You saw you saw my story, right? You saw it too. Coach Holmes, right? You saw it, my story, the cake. Yeah, you saw how big that thing was? It was like this big, like this tall. I only paid like $9 for it. I'm like, bro, I was like, damn, this shit heavy. And I opened it. Huh?
You really are trying to be like Khabib. He eats tiramisu too.
Yeah. I wish, man. No, Khabib's fucking, I don't know. His workout regimen is insane. Like, I mean, and Khabib, you can tell he's natural because like his muscle, like there's no like, it doesn't look like there's any definition. It looks like he's just like a dude who just like cuts like weight, like. But then like when Nate Diaz fought Conor McGregor, and he's like you're on steroids. Cause like fuck you talking about. Then he's like you're on steroids.
I love Nate.
I know Nate's the best. You love Nate?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. You're probably talking to Coach Holmes, but yeah, I'm sure he does too. He lives right down the street.
Yeah.
Oh,
out here in Stockton.
So no. You out there in Stockton? Okay, cool. I played.
Yeah,
do you remember the Stockton Wolves, the California Eagles coach? The arena team.
The arena team. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I played. Arena.
You worked at the arena team?
Yeah, the California Eagles.
Worked at
2012.
Yeah. I think I worked. I think they were just doing I think I was there before that. I was there in like probably 2007 maybe.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah.
You were probably there for Stockton Lightning. Stockton Lightning were there.
Yeah. Lightning.
Yeah, Stockton Lightning were there from 06 to 09. The team folded. Then they brought the Stockton Wolves after San Jose Wolves didn't work out. And then I basically had gone by to Sabercats Combine in 2010 after West Valley, and then I did make the cut. And then, but I mean, they technically signed me. It's like a little 10-day thing for like to mini camp, but I mean, it didn't mean anything because there's no record of it. Essentially, after that, then I basically, my coach basically sent my film over to the Stockton Wolves. Stockton Wolves, they tried me out in 2011. They said no. Then the Wolves rebranded as the Eagles in 2012, and then they called me back and I made the cut. So we made win. Yeah, it was dope, bro. I mean, I won Special Teams Player of the Year. And we won the Western Conference Championship, and then we lost in the championship game. So we got to go play championships, arena championship.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's been a great career. But like I feel like this podcast has kind of given light to all of our careers. Like because I feel like all football needs to be respected. Like especially for guys like us who play JUCO. And still play at like colleges 4 years.
Yeah.
I didn't even play at a 4 year. You know what I mean? Y'all played longer in college than I did. You know what I mean? So I mean, they have our story needs to be told. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
And not only that, like everybody's connected, like you said.
that's big facts. Everyone is connected. Oh shit, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Let me show you guys this shit before we sign off for the air for the night. I mean, Coach Nate's already seen these, but I'm gonna bust out anyways. One sec. Oh wait, whoops, wrong finger. Keep forgetting the side of my fingers. Oh, there we go. Show the video. All right. You've seen these.
Big drip.
Yeah, so yeah, let me. This is the California Eagles. If you can read that. Hold on.
Right.
Okay.
West Conference champions. Right there.
There you go.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah. AIF baby. American Indoor Football
Yeah,
Association.
this is a great stuff tonight, guys.
Yes, sir,
Great
man. It was
stuff
great.
tonight.
No, this is great, man. I enjoyed it. And y'all, man, hey, if y'all ever in Pleasant, East Bay, hit me up. I'm down to link up with y'all, man. Anytime.
Sure.
You know?
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Yeah.
bro. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we gotta link up in person.
Hell yeah, we do. Especially the coach on the right hand side of the screen next to Coach Maya. I mean, this dude's been stiffing me every fucking time. Because you know what? He secretly doesn't like me. He secretly doesn't like me. He comments on Manu stuff like, we got link up like over a month ago, and then he said I'm driving past your neighborhood today, and then I'm just like, yo, you drive past my neighborhood, and then you said a month ago you want to link up, but you didn't tell me you're gonna drive past my neighborhood today. I'm like, damn.
Damn. Nah. Honestly, right now,
I have to have you out for a live podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do it right on the set, right? Have the fucking cameras outside and all that, like college game day shit.
Oh,
Pop
bro.
up. Yeah.
Pop up. No, hey, I'm down. I'm down, G.
Ooh.
Might as well.
Podcast out to pop up.
Oh, I mean, why not?
Hey, we're down to do new shit, man. Like shit, that's what it's about, right? Being ourselves and fucking merging everything together, right?
That's all it is, Bree.
Yep.
That's all it is. That's all it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's fucking do it. I'm down. Let me know. Oh my God,
Yeah.
for sure. All right,
All right,
fellas. Thank y'all for being on. Have a great
bro.
night. Peace and blessings to y'all, man.
Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too, baby.
All
All
right.
right.